Sheng Anran, the daughter of the wealthy Sheng family, was drugged while drinking at a bar. She spent a wild night with a man she didn't know, and because of that night, she became pregnant with fraternal twins, a boy and a girl. But the man took the baby boy, and to protect her remaining child, she had to flee abroad. 7 years later, she returned with her daughter, Sheng Xiaoxin. Whether by fate or coincidence, she once again encountered the man from that night. But neither of them seemed to recognize the other, and because of this encounter, they became rivals. Eventually, through the interactions of their two children, their hatred turned to love, and at some point, Anran also learned that Yun Nansheng was the very man who had ruined her life 7 years ago. If you want to know how their relationship will develop, follow Lisa Manhwa. In a noisy, bustling bar, a girl was drinking alone at the bar. After finishing one drink, she yelled another one, "I want the strongest liquor. My boyfriend cheated on me with my best friend." Isn't this kind of thing only supposed to happen in novels? How could I be so unlucky? Xiao Sai, Liu, how could you do this to me? Just then, the bartender handed her another drink, comforting her. "It's a good thing you saw the scumbag for what he is. This lucid dream is on me." Touched by the drink and the comforting words, she said, "Thank you." She brought the glass to her lips and downed it in one gulp. As soon as she finished, a wave of dizziness hit her. Why am I a little dizzy? Everything in front of her immediately blurred. Just as she was about to pass out, a hand reached out and took the glass. Next, in an unfamiliar room, amorous sounds could be heard. Bang! She woke up in a sexy nightdress. The moment she opened her eyes, the man above her leaned in and asked to wake. Still in a daze, she gave in to her desires and pulled the man down, and the two became intimate. Her constant urging could be heard, "It's so hot, help me." The man looked down at her alluringly and soothed soon. Her restless hand grabbed the man's necklace, pulling him down. The pleasure of the moment was all-consuming, and she lost herself in it. Suddenly, she jolted awake from the dream. "That it's been 2 months. Why am I still having that dream?" Seeing her awake, a colleague said cheerfully, "You're awake? You're covered in sweat. I'll get you something to eat. You should eat more." Grateful for the help, she replied, "Thank you." When the lunchbox was opened, a delicious aroma wafted out, but for some reason, she found it nauseating. Feeling sick, she ran off. A moment later, in the restroom, her colleague patted her back with great concern. "Are you okay? Why did you suddenly throw up? You're not pregnant, are you?" "I'm just kidding. Besides, aren't you single? You should get more rest." Knowing her colleague was joking, she trembled and said, "It can't be just that one night. It couldn't be such a coincidence. I can't have gotten pregnant from just one time, right?" The next day, she went to obstetrics and gynecology specialist clinic 1. Looking at the ultrasound report, the doctor congratulated her. "Miss Sheng, congratulations. You are indeed pregnant. The fetus is about 10 weeks along, but the pregnancy isn't very stable yet." Seeing her lack of reaction, the doctor called out with concern, "Miss Sheng?" She remained stunned, never expecting to be pregnant. "I'm pregnant? I'm really pregnant." The memory of that night immediately flooded her mind. "But I don't even know who the child's father is." Seeing no response, the doctor kept calling, "Miss Sheng? Miss Sheng?" She didn't seem to hear as her vision blurred. "What do I do? How will I manage in the future, alone with a child?" Unable to bear the immense shock, she fainted. The doctor frantically yelled for help. "Someone! The patient has fainted." Just then, the door was kicked open and a group of bodyguards swaggered in. This made the doctor both worried and wary. Who are you people?" Suddenly, one of them placed a briefcase full of money on the floor and warned, "This money is for her. Not a word of this to anyone, or you'll face the consequences." With that, the bodyguards took her away. Time flew by. 5 years later, in Nanchang Airport, the secretary beside him worried about the young master's health. "President Yun, the young master hasn't eaten all day. Perhaps you should return to the villa first." Hearing this, he demanded, "Why are you only telling me now?" The chastised secretary hurriedly explained, "You had an important meeting in Chicago. I was afraid of disturbing your work, so I didn't contact you. I didn't expect the young master to go on a hunger strike." Not wanting to hear any more, he asked coldly, "Since when do you get to make decisions for me?" He was Yun Nansheng, the general manager of the Shantong Hotel. As he was walking, a piece of candy rolled to his feet. Yun Nansheng bent down, picked it up, and looked at it. "This is..." Suddenly, a small hand tugged on his clothes. A cute little girl held out her hand, wanting her dropped candy back. "Mister, if you want chocolate, go buy your own. I don't have any extra for you." This little girl was Sheng Xiaoxin, Sheng Anran's daughter. Seeing how cute Xiaoxin was, Yun Nansheng asked gently, "Do you like this chocolate?" The little girl replied in a sweet, childish voice, "Yes." "Do you like it too, mister?" Suddenly, a sense of familiarity washed over him. Who is this child? I've never seen her before. Why does she look so familiar? Seeing Yun Nanqing's gentle demeanor toward Xiaoxin, the secretary began to question reality. Doesn't President Yun dislike other people's children? Why is he suddenly being so gentle with this little girl? He gestured for his secretary to give the little girl a box of chocolates. I don't like them, but my little brother loves them. I bought a lot for him, so I can give you a box. Although Xiaoxin really wanted it, she remembered her mother's words. But Mommy says I shouldn't take things from strangers. Just then, the secretary gently reminded him, President Yun, we have to go. The little girl, having received a gift, gave him a kiss as a thank you. All right then. Seeing Yun Nanqing leaving, Xiaoxin didn't forget her manners. Goodbye, handsome mister. The little girl looked happily at the box of chocolates in her hand. That mister is so handsome and nice. It would be even better if he could be my daddy. Just then, a loud shout of Sheng Xiaoxin startled the little girl. It was Sheng Anran, daughter of the Sheng family. The moment she saw Xiaoxin, she chided, Didn't I tell you to wait for me right here? Why did you run off? Anran came forward and grabbed the little girl's clothes. The frightened girl quickly explained, My chocolate fell, so I ran to pick it up. Seeing the box of chocolates in Xiaoxin's hand, she asked, Where did you get this? The little girl explained guiltily, A handsome mister gave it to me because he thought I was cute. As soon as she heard this, Anran immediately scolded. He gave it to you? Why didn't you just go with him? Knowing she was in the wrong, Xiaoxin quickly admitted her mistake. Mommy, I was wrong. I'll face the wall for 3 minutes when we get home. Seeing the little girl's slyness, Anran smiled gently, still trying to act cute with me. Then she countered sternly, 10 minutes. Hearing the increased punishment, Xiaoxin panicked and pleaded, 10 minutes is too long, Mommy. Can you make it shorter? But her mother was firm, not another word. If you bargain again, I'll have more time. At that, the little girl quickly pretended to zip her lips. Then the two walked home hand in hand. Let's go. Xin, we're going home. The next day, Anran, dressed for work, couldn't help but worry as she walked. Oh no, I'm going to be late. I hope Xin is behaving at home. Arriving in the lobby, she saw an elevator about to close and rushed over. Hey, wait, hold on. Anran dashed in without a second thought. I'm so sorry. I'm rushing to an interview. Realizing she had bumped into someone, she took a step back, but her hair got caught on his clothes. Anran panicked and apologized. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Can you help me? The others in the elevator were stunned, worried that Yun Nanqing would get angry. Isn't President Yun a germaphobe? Who is this girl? How did she get into the executive elevator? When he saw the girl in front of him, he reached out and untangled the strand of hair caught on his clothes. Then he said softly, Don't move, relax. Hearing Yun Nanqing's voice, a sense of familiarity washed over her. This voice is so familiar. Instantly, the seductive scene from that night returned to her, along with a charming voice soon. The thought of that night made Anran blush. Why did I suddenly think of that? What am I doing? Then she shyly thanked him. Thank you. She thought to herself, this person. But when she saw Yun Nanqing's elegant appearance and handsome face, Anran was stunned. The secretary then stepped forward to block her, speaking with extreme rudeness. Miss, what's your hurry? I think you're just trying to hit on him. He watched from behind. Instantly, a common, bewildered thought crossed both their minds. Hitting on him? Yun Nanqing then reacted, hitting on me. Then he recalled Anran rushing in and saying, I'm so sorry. I'm rushing to an interview. Then she had asked, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Can you help me? Thinking of that, a look of disgust appeared on Yun Nanqing's face. Seeing that expression, Anran was disappointed. What's with that look? And to think I just thanked him for helping me. The secretary unhappily demanded, Miss, please get out. The employee elevator is over there. Anran wanted to explain further. Wait, I really wasn't. But before she could say anything else, she was pushed out. She couldn't help but turn and mutter, Who does he think he is? Ridiculous. Hitting on him? He looks like a gigolo from a nightclub. Hearing this, the secretary looked at Yun Nanqing and broke into a cold sweat. Does that applicant have a death wish? She dared to call President Yun a gigolo, but he just concluded coldly, deliberately getting close, maliciously humiliating. Very good. Unable to contain his anger, Yun Nanqing ordered his secretary, Tell Director Li that I will be attending the 10 o'clock interview. By this time, Anran had already arrived at the interview waiting room. Seeing so many people, she couldn't help but be surprised. So many people are here for the interview. As Anran sat waiting for her turn, she overheard two women next to her whispering, "I just got some inside news. President Yin will also be coming to the interview later." "Really? I heard President Yin is tall and handsome, has a son but no wife. If he's the interviewer, isn't this an opportunity? It's very possible. But I heard he has problems in that department." Hearing this, she made a connection to the president. Usually, a president who already has a child must be in his 40s, right? He must be a pot-bellied, bald, old man. After a while, it was Anran's turn for the interview coming. She pushed open the door and walked in. Looking at the interviewers, she saw Yun Nansheng. This shocked Anran. Isn't this the man from the elevator? He rested his chin on his hand and looked at Anran's resume. Graduated from Wharton School. Incomplete. Asked this question, she answered hesitantly, I haven't obtained my university degree yet." Hearing this, an HR person snorted and questioned, "Didn't graduate? Do you think Sheng Group is easy to get into? How could the personnel department let just anyone in?" Seeing him talk too much, Yun Nansheng waved his hand to interrupt. "Have you read the recruitment requirements? Based on her work experience in Germany alone, she still can't get into Shengshi." He tossed Anran's resume aside without hesitation and dismissed her. "Get out." Moreover, Yun Nansheng didn't forget to criticize her. A person who only relies on useless little tricks and doesn't even have a decent academic qualification is not needed by any company. Being told this, Anran couldn't help but slam her hands on the table in front of Yun Nansheng. She indignantly proposed a bet. "If you think academic qualifications can prove a person's ability, then let's make a bet." At this moment, Gao Jin, Yun Nansheng's best friend, asked cheerfully, "Beauty, what do you want to bet with him?" Anran confidently proposed the stakes. "I will work at Shangtang Hotel for 3 months and guarantee a monthly profit increase of more than 30%. If I succeed, you must make me a permanent employee of Shangtang with a salary 3 times higher, and you must apologize to me." Yun Nansheng listened, just watching without speaking, but with Gao Jin constantly egging him on. Take it. If Brother Cheng doesn't take the bet, he's a coward." He shot him a sharp glance, then stood up imposingly and countered Anran. "If you can't do it," she replied without hesitation, "then I'll sell myself to Shangtang for 3 years at your beck and call. How about it? Do you dare to take this bet?" Yun Nansheng thought for a moment, then suddenly left. He didn't forget to turn around and announce, "Go home and wait for the employment notice. I'll take this bet." Seeing him leave, Gao Jin also hurried to follow. "Brother Cheng, wait for me. Let's have a meal together." But before leaving, he didn't forget to cheer Anran on. "Beauty, I wish you success." She had gotten the job and breathed a sigh of relief. "Thankfully, I've secured this job for now." As soon as she got home, Xiaoxin jumped into Anran's arms to greet her. "Mommy, you're back. I've learned the entire alphabet and heated up the food in a microwave." Seeing her precious daughter being so good, she happily kissed her cheek and praised, "Good girl." Xiaoxin took her hand, pulled her into the house, and urged, "Mommy, hurry up." Seeing the little girl had grown so much in the blink of an eye, Anran couldn't help but reminisce. In a flash, Xin is already so big. 5 years ago, she was still so small. As Xiaoxin sat eating by herself, she spoke her mind like an adult, "Because I feel like Daddy doesn't like Mommy. We don't see him more than twice a year. He doesn't care about us, and he's not close to Mommy. I don't want a daddy like that." Instantly, the little girl snuggled into her arms and requested, "Mommy, can we get a new daddy?" These words truly broke Anran's heart. "I just didn't want her to overthink things, so I hired someone to pretend to be her father every year." I didn't expect Xin to remember everything so clearly. Seeing her not answer for a long time, Xiaoxin called out, "Mommy, what are you thinking about?" "Mommy, don't worry about me. Go find a new daddy. As long as he likes us, I can accept other brothers and sisters too." Seeing her daughter being so understanding truly pained Anran. "Silly baby, Mommy just wants to take good care of you and watch you grow up." But Xiaoxin insisted on having a complete family. "I just want an older brother, and I also want a daddy who loves us like a princess." Hearing those words, she thought of her lost son and felt sad. "Baby, you actually do have an older brother, but Mommy lost him." Xiaoxin didn't know what Anran was thinking, so she said with some regret, "It's a pity I didn't get to know that handsome mister at the airport. I knew at first sight that he would be a good match for Mommy." But the little girl didn't give up and decided, "All right, I'm determined to find a new daddy who is both gentle and handsome, to make Mommy happy every day." The next day at the company, the lobby was very noisy and lively. The front desk receptionist warmly welcomed guests, Hello, please come this way to check in. Anran respectfully approached a customer. It's my honor to serve you. Seeing how busy it was on her first day, she felt a bit tired. I didn't expect my first day of work to be the 10th anniversary celebration. Why is there so much to do? While wiping her sweat, someone called her Anran. Liu, Anran's old best friend, stood shyly next to Xiao Zhe, Anran's ex-boyfriend, and said in a two-faced tone, Anran, it's really you. Long time no see. Without a hint of shame, she approached and took her hand like a long-lost friend. Anran, I heard you went abroad and cut off contact with your family. Have you seen your uncle since you came back? Xiao Zhe didn't want to say more and stopped Liu. Xiaoya, let's go. But she ignored her boyfriend, saying, why go? I haven't finished catching up with Anran yet. Liu calmly pulled Anran to a corner to chat. Come over here, Anran. We haven't talked in so many years. She felt very uncomfortable and wanted to leave. I'm still working. Seeing that she was on the clock and couldn't make a scene, she thought, there are too many people in the lobby. I can't start a conflict here. So she followed her into the elevator. Once inside, Liu chattered endlessly. We haven't talked in so many years. Then she shamelessly took out an engagement ring and invited her. Anran, can you come to my and Xiao Zhe's engagement ceremony? It's on the 18th of this month. I hope you can come. The moment she saw the ring on her hand, she immediately recognized it. Isn't this the ring that Xiao Zhe and I used to wear together? 5 years ago, Liu had poked at Anran's sore spot. Are you afraid you won't have a boyfriend take you? It's okay, I know a lot of friends. I can introduce them all to you. But she didn't want anything to do with her, so she turned to refuse. I'm busy. I don't have time. Not wanting to lose to Liu, she told a lie. I have a boyfriend. I'm afraid he won't let me go to my ex-boyfriend and best friend's engagement party. Hearing that Anran had a boyfriend, she happily grabbed her. Anran, you have a boyfriend? Why don't you bring him out for us to meet? I really want to meet your boyfriend. Ask him to come. He should have time. She refused without hesitation. No need. He's very busy. Unable to stand her hypocritical face any longer, Anran shook off her hand. She struggled free with force, and just as she stumbled, Yun Nansheng luckily caught her. Seeing his face, Anran felt very awkward. What a small world. Why is it him again? Liu then sat on the floor, playing the victim. Anran, are you okay? Sir, my friend didn't do it on purpose. Suddenly, Anran looked at Yun Nansheng, and an idea came to her. Then she hugged him and said coquettishly, Honey, why didn't you say anything in the elevator? Were you trying to surprise me? Seeing her boyfriend was so outstanding, she gritted her teeth in anger. This is Sheng, Anran's boyfriend? How did she manage to hook up with this man? No, it's impossible. Xiao Zhe saw this and remained silent. Then Liu pretended to be understanding and advised Anran. Anran, even if you want to prove you have a boyfriend, you can't just grab a stranger to act the part. It's so embarrassing for others. She frantically winked at Yun Nansheng. He suddenly pulled her back and agreed to play along. How much do you think she paid to hire me to act? Seeing him do this, Anran was in disbelief. He's willing to help me. At this moment, the secretary came with a speech draft to report, President Yun, I have reviewed the speech for this celebration, and there are no problems. The secretary thought to himself, think what President Yun thinks. Do what President Yun wants to do. Hearing Yun Nansheng's title, she couldn't help but be shocked. President Yun? Could it be Yun Nansheng? Didn't they say he's not interested in women? How could Sheng Anran be with him? Just as the elevator doors opened, Liu said goodbye to Anran with a fake smile. Anran, we'll be leaving first. You're welcome to bring President Yun to our engagement ceremony when you have time. When the elevator doors closed, Yun Nansheng pressed Anran into his arms and said provocatively, weren't you brave enough to provoke me at first? Are you scared now? She was embarrassed by the position and stammered. You can talk without being so close. He brought up the day they met without hesitation. That day, we were much closer than this. Anran pushed Yun Nansheng away and made an excuse. I said that day was an accident. Hearing this, he questioned unhappily, is using me as a shield today also an accident? I helped you because you are my employee, but if you pull any more clever tricks, the bet will end sooner than planned. These words really made her uncomfortable. This is infuriating. How did I cause this misunderstanding? Never mind him. Even I feel like I'm interested in him. At that moment, someone called out, Manager Sheng, there you are. A subordinate ran up to report an emergency to her. There's a child making a scene in the VIP room and refusing to eat. The child's family isn't here. What if he bumps into something or gets hungry? Upon hearing this, she acted very quickly, not forgetting to curse in her mind. What kind of parents are these, so irresponsible, leaving a small child alone in a room? Let's go see what's going on. After Anran rushed over, she pushed open the door and went inside. She saw the other employees looking at her worriedly. Manager Sheng, you're here. Anran went forward and asked directly, where is the child? The subordinate reported worriedly, inside. Seeing things scattered all over the floor, Anran still walked over calmly. She came to the door and ordered her subordinate to contact the child's parents. I'll go in and check on the situation. The others couldn't help but worry. Are we just going to let her go in like that? Then you go. I wouldn't dare go in. The little tyrant is throwing a tantrum. Touching him is like asking for your life. The room was pitch black. As soon as Anran entered, she spoke hello. Suddenly, a pillow was thrown over, hitting the wall hard and startling her. The little boy in front watched and ran nervously. She wanted to soothe him and approached, but the boy refused and backed away. Then Anran knelt down and gently persuaded him, little one, don't be nervous. Can you tell Annie why you're so angry? When the boy looked up, he saw Anran's beautiful face. He wrote quickly on a piece of paper, surprising her. How can his child not speak? How can he write at such a young age? The boy wrote on the paper, Dad promised to take me out to play, but he didn't come back. Seeing this, Anran patted his head, sympathizing with the boy and chiding, that's too much. How could your dad do that? When he comes back, Annie will speak up for you. Just then, the boy's stomach rumbled with hunger, making him feel very embarrassed. But she didn't think so and asked gently, are you hungry? Annie will go get you something to eat, okay? As Anran turned to get food, she was suddenly pulled back by the boy. Suddenly, the chandelier above their heads began to shake. It terrified the boy. Seeing the chandelier swaying, someone shouted, Manager Sheng, young master. In the nick of time, she rushed forward and held the boy to protect him. As a result, the chandelier fell, injuring Anran's hand. She couldn't hold on any longer and collapsed. Her vision gradually blurred, but she heard the boy call her mummy. In a private club, Nan Chung sat in a corner, drinking tea and reading a book. Just then, a girl appeared. Seeing him, she was excited. Nan Chung, it's really you. She sat down opposite Nan Chung without hesitation and recounted, I was just looking for you. I went to see Grandpa the other day, and he said that with you raising Jingshi alone, you can't always give him the best care. It seems he wants to take Jingshi back, to live with him, but he immediately refused. Going back might not be as safe as staying with me. You don't need to be a lobbyist. Hearing him say this, she didn't get angry and replied calmly, what lobbyist? I was just saying. Just then, the secretary ran over to report Jing Shi's situation to President Yunnan Chung. The hotel called and said the chandelier in the young master's room suddenly fell. Hearing this news, he stood up in shock. Where is Jing Shi? How is he? The secretary quickly reported the current situation. The hotel staff rescued him in time. The young master was not injured, but he's been sent to the hospital as a precaution. At this, the girl's face darkened, knowing Jing Shi had escaped harm. Nan Chung immediately ordered, go to the hospital. As he hurried on his way, the girl also rushed to follow. Nan Chung, wait for me. I'll go with you. In hospital room B02, Nan Chung hurriedly pushed open the door and rushed in, calling for Jing Shi, but he only saw the boy sitting next to the unconscious and ran. Upon hearing his father's voice, Jing Shi turned and ran to hug him. Seeing this, he immediately asked Jing Shi, how are you? The boy didn't speak, merely pulling Nan Chung to the bedside. When he saw that the person who had saved his son was Anran, he couldn't help but see her in a different light. It's her again. I didn't expect she would risk her own life to save Jing Shi. Just then, the girl also walked into the room and greeted Jing Shi. The boy was startled the moment he saw her. Nan Chung ignored the girl, sat down, and apologized to Jing Shi. Dad is sorry for what happened today. Dad promises you I will never break my promise again, okay? She also stepped forward, feigning concern for the boy. Annie is here. Today's events must have scared you, little Jing Shi. Do you need Annie to have dinner with you? Jing Shi, frightened, burrowed into Nan Cheng's arms. So, the girl took the opportunity to suggest, he's really scared, Nan Cheng. Let me accompany you to take Jing Shi back. The child is frightened and needs to rest. Nan Cheng thought it made sense and agreed. Looking at Anran lying on the bed, he instructed, have the doctors take good care of her. That night, in front of the hotel, she walked up and looked inside. Seeing that Jing Shi was asleep, she asked with feigned concern, is Jing Shi asleep? Nan Cheng also replied gently, it's late. You should go back too. Seeing he had no intention of getting married, she earnestly advised, it's okay. My driver is waiting for me nearby. I know you don't plan to get married, but Jing Shi needs someone to take care of him. What Grandpa said makes sense too. These words made Nan Sheng contemplate marriage, not want to say more and annoy him. She left. Call me if you need anything. Jingshi and I are very close too. But before she could say goodbye, the car sped away. She returned to her own car. She sat in the car, displeased, and ordered drive. The driver, seeing her bad mood, blamed everything on Anran. Miss Wen, everything was going well. Who knew a hotel manager would show up out of nowhere? But she said gloomily, it doesn't matter. It's infuriating, but this is good too. Nan Sheng will have a worried mindset, and that will make him consider marriage. She looked out the window and sneered triumphantly, don't touch that child for now. There will be plenty of opportunities later. I'll have to run back and forth to the hotel these 2 days. Tell my assistant to prepare some more things that kid likes for me to bring over. In hospital room B02, Anran had now woken up. Xiaoxing's happy voice sounded beside her. Mommy, you're awake. Seeing the little girl here, she was startled. Xing, why are you here? How long was I asleep? Xiaoxing voiced her worries like a little old lady. Mommy didn't come home for a long time, and I was so worried about you. Then the uncles and aunties from Mommy's hotel brought me here. Don't move around. The doctor said you can only be discharged tomorrow. Seeing how much the little girl had been through today, Anran's heart ached, and she quickly apologized. Xing, I'm sorry for making you worry. Hearing this, Xiaoxing chided resentfully. Mommy, you knew I would worry, and you still rushed forward in such a dangerous situation. What if it had hit your head? As the two were talking, a knock came from outside. Anran quickly invited them in. The secretary presented a gift on behalf of Nan Sheng to thank Anran. Manager Sheng, this is from our president Yu. Thank you for saving the young master's life. Hearing this, she recognized Jing Shi's identity. President Yu? Young master? Are you saying that boy is Yunan Sheng's son? The secretary didn't say much and affirmed, yes. Manager Sheng is the young master's savior. If you need anything, please let me know. I won't disturb you any longer. Upon hearing Nan Sheng's grand-sounding title, Xiaoxing's eyes lit up. President Yu, that sounds so impressive. Maybe he's a good dad too. A few days later, in a coffee shop on the street, the door opened. Xiaoxing walked in happily, quickly looking around. She saw the old man in the corner, over there. A delicious strawberry cake had been served for Xiaoxing. As soon as she saw him, she greeted him happily and enthusiastically. Grandpa Yu, greetings to Grandpa Yu. We've been chatting online for so long. I finally get to meet you. He also replied gently to Xiaoxing. Xing, you're here. Come and sit. There's ice cream here. Upon hearing there was ice cream, she was overjoyed. Wow, ice cream. Thank you. After sitting down, Xiaoxing said bluntly, I thought I would get to see Uncle Yu today too. Who knew he doesn't go out to find a partner himself? No wonder he's still single. The old man looked at her lovingly and said, he's also very busy. Didn't your mother not come either? Only then did the little girl feel it made sense. Yeah, we can only rely on ourselves to create opportunities for the two of them. Seeing this, he was very fond of Xiaoxing and asked, what other clever ideas do you have? Believe that if they are fated, they will definitely get together. Although he tried to persuade her this way, the little girl couldn't wait. How long will that take? It's still up to me. And so, in the coffee shop, the old man and Xiaoxing had a happy chat. After the little girl left, the butler spoke from behind. Sir, with the young master's qualifications, isn't it a bit unfair to him to find a single mother? But he didn't care about that at all and asked the butler, if you're not satisfied, then you go find one. On the contrary, I am very satisfied. Girls these days are spoiled from a young age. Who among them can I expect to take good care of Jingshi? That child, Xing, is cheerful and lively. I think she is very well raised. If Nan Sheng had met someone like this earlier, our Jingshi might not have had his accident. 3 years ago, the butler knew he was thinking about the old matter again and felt sad. So he advised, Sir, it's not your fault. Don't blame yourself too much. The young master doesn't mean to blame you either. But he wouldn't listen at all and asserted, if he didn't blame me, he wouldn't have taken Jingshi away, leaving me all alone. Then the two also left the coffee shop. Xiaoxing returned home and came up with an idea. Mommy, I really think you can go to work now. Seeing the little girl urging her to go to work like this, Anran couldn't help but say bluntly, can I rest for 2 days? This is a chance to get paid by the company without working. It's not an everyday opportunity. Let's talk about it after this week. These words really frustrated the little girl, who persuaded, Mommy, you have to seize the opportunity. Being told this by her daughter, she became even more puzzled. What opportunity? Xiaoxing's eyes lit up as she came up with an idea. Your boss is handsome, rich, and single. There must be a lot of people fighting over him. If you don't work hard, what will happen to me in the future? Hearing her daughter's bad idea, she pinched her nose and questioned, you haven't even met my boss. How do you know he's handsome? As she spoke, Xiaoxing suddenly looked in a direction. Then she waved and shouted loudly, Uncle, over here, over here. And Ran also looked over in confusion. Then she saw Nancheng walking over with Jingshi. Duh, it's him. What's the situation? Xiaoxing waved and shouted loudly, Uncle, over here, over here. Upon seeing the little girl, he suddenly stopped in his tracks. That child. So Xiaoxing ran towards Nancheng, while Jingshi ran to hug and ran. She bent down to take a closer look. It was the boy from the hotel room a few days ago. The look in Jingshi's eyes, as he looked at and ran, was full of adoration, touching one's heart. On the other side, Xiaoxing also pulled Nancheng's hand and introduced, this is the uncle who gave me chocolate at the airport the other day, Mommy. She was truly helpless with her daughter and could only blame her inwardly. This child, that's my boss. Then the two looked at each other and asked in unison, this is your child? Then they both answered in unison again. Nancheng remembered that Anran had saved Jingshi and expressed his gratitude. Regarding Jingshi's matter, thank you. I was just thinking of finding time to bring Jingshi over to thank you. But she didn't mind and refused. No, you gave me time off anyway, so let's consider that the thank you gift. Besides, protecting the safety of customers is also my responsibility. Just after the pleasantries, he brought up the bet. The time off is one thing, but don't forget the bet between us. These words really soured Anran's mood. I knew he was up to no good. Nancheng didn't want to bother her further, so he extended his hand to Jingshi and said, we won't disturb you today. Jingshi, let's go. But the boy refused to let go, shaking his head continuously as if facing an enemy, making him raise his voice in displeasure. Jingshi, seeing the conflict between father and son, Anran stood up to mediate. Since you're already here, if you don't mind, just sit here. There are 4 seats anyway. In the end, faced with his son's stubbornness and Anran's friendly invitation, he sighed and had no choice but to accept. The 4 of them sat down at a table. Nancheng didn't know what to say and could only cover it up by drinking water, while Jingshi at his side was extremely happy. Anran saw another side of him and found it a bit amusing. The great Yunnan Cheng of the Shengtang group has this side to him too. Not wanting to interrupt the 2 adults' conversation, Xiaoxing smiled and extended her hand to the boy, proposing, brother, I'm going to get some fruit. Do you want to come with me? Jingshi hesitated for a moment. Then he nodded shyly. The little girl took the boy's hand without hesitation and quickly pulled him away. Seeing this also surprised Nancheng. Jingshi actually agreed to be friends with this little girl. He couldn't help but praise, your daughter is very lively. Hearing this, Anran narrated proudly, Xiaoxing, she's just a little smarty pants, but she gets along well with her peers. You don't have to worry, President Yu. As she spoke, she suddenly remembered Jingshi's problem. By the way, Jingshi doesn't speak. Was he born this way? But seeing his cold expression, she knew she had overstepped and quickly apologized. I'm sorry, I was just asking casually. I didn't mean anything else. Looking at the 2 children playing happily over there, Anran blamed herself. This damned mouth of mine is too reckless. But unexpectedly, Nancheng didn't blame her and instead stated the problem. Jingshi is not unable to speak. He just doesn't like to speak. The 2 children returned with food. They happily brought the dessert to Anran. Mommy, we're back. She was surprised to see that Jingshi wanted to give her the food he had gotten. Just then, Xiaoxing came up with another bad idea. Then she sat down frankly next to Nancheng and proposed, since brother likes my mommy so much, can he sit next to mommy? I'll sit next to the handsome uncle. He didn't resist and introduced his son to Xiaoxing. Brother's name is Jingshi. As soon as she knew his name, she asked happily, so I should call you brother Jingshi, right? How old is brother Jingshi? Maybe you're a younger brother. Although asked, Jingshi remained silent with a sad look. Seeing this, Nancheng stood up and answered for his son. Jingshi is 5 years old, born the day before the Mid-Autumn Festival. What about you? Xiaoxing quickly replied, I was, but suddenly paused, Just then, Anran spoke up for the little girl. Xiaoxing was born on September 14th. Seeing that their birthdays were on the same day made her suspicious. What a coincidence. Jingshi and Xingxing were born on the same day. Then the 2 of them played together until the lights came on. Seeing that it was getting late, Anran called out again, Xingxing, it's time for us to go home. The little girl, who was having fun, was sad. I still want to play with brother Jingshi a little longer. Anran disagreed and said sternly, no, Xiaoxing. It's too late. Seeing that her mother wouldn't accept, Xiao Xing came up with a new trick. Mommy, you have nothing to do when you go home anyway. Why don't you chat with the handsome uncle a little longer and improve your relationship? Being told this, she scolded shyly. What nonsense are you talking, Xiao Xing? Just then, Anran turned to deny what Xiao Xing had said. President Yu, this child is talking nonsense. I'll teach her a lesson when we get home. Meanwhile, Jingshi also slapped a note in front of Nan Cheng, proposing, let Xing come to our house to play. Seeing the boy's request, he was surprised. This was the first time Jingshi had made such a request. Does Jingshi like this mother and daughter that much? Then two faces came together, looking at Nan Cheng pleadingly. Please, Dad. Uncle. He was also speechless with these two children. Finally, he made a decision. How about next Saturday? I'll send someone to pick you up and bring Xing to my house. Hearing this proposal, Anran was confused, seeing that the two seemed to be able to interact more. The two little angels were very happy. Nan Cheng suggested seriously, let's go. I'll take you and your mother home. Being driven home by a handsome man made Anran a little shy. Okay, thank you. The car sped along the street. In the car, Jingshi tugged on Nan Cheng's clothes. Then he held up a drawing of a family of 3, his eyes sparkling. It made him have to understand, even if he didn't want to, so he asked the boy softly, Jingshi, do you want a mommy? Jingshi nodded affirmatively and called out, Mummy. Hearing his son speak again after 3 years also made Nan Cheng pleasantly surprised. He couldn't contain his joy and happily hugged Jingshi. Jingshi, you spoke. It's been 3 years. Finally, going along with his son's wishes, Nan Cheng decided, okay, Dad will find you a mommy that you like. Receiving his father's affirmative answer, the boy nodded happily. Then the father and son went home. The next day, Anran felt exhausted. How can it be so hard to find a kindergarten for Xing? As soon as she saw her, the secretary called out happily, Manager Sheng, I finally found you. The secretary came forward to ask about the proposal. This morning, President Yu asked when the budget for the group's event in 2 months will be submitted. She had dark circles under her eyes, but still prepared for work happily. Okay, I'll prepare it right away. Although she was like this on the surface, she was extremely unhappy inside. The new hotel's anniversary celebration just ended, and now you're making me arrange the group's event. You, Nan Cheng, even a tyrant isn't as exploitative as you. As she was preparing the proposal, Anran remembered, oh, right, these are some things I made myself. I saw that your young master seemed to like them last time. Please help me take them to him. Hearing this, the secretary asked worriedly, isn't this your lunch? You haven't eaten anything for lunch, have you? She replied nonchalantly as she walked. My daughter's schooling is a bit troublesome, so I didn't have time for lunch. Don't let it go to waste. I'll go work first. The secretary could only reply blankly. Okay, holding a lunchbox, the secretary had doubts about life. It's just that she doesn't want to waste it. But will the young master like this? When the food was delivered, Jingshi liked it very much and ate with great relish. Nan Cheng had just arrived. Seeing the boy eating, he asked, Jingshi, what are you eating? The secretary turned and replied, Manager, Sheng asked me to bring it for the young master. Hearing this, he just replied coolly, and then he asked about the group affairs assigned to Anran. Regarding the group event, have you told her? The secretary immediately reported. According to the situation, she said she would submit it as soon as possible, but she's been busy with her daughter's kindergarten enrollment recently, so she might not have much time to prepare. As soon as Jingshi heard that Xiao Xing was going to kindergarten, his eyes lit up and he proposed, I want to go to kindergarten too. Hearing this request, Nan Cheng refused unhappily. No, kindergarten is chaotic. You have a home tutor. This really angered Jingshi. The secretary, used to this scene, was also speechless. The president of the great Shengtang group is tormented by his son like this every day. Who would believe it if it got out? Just then, she pushed the door in, also bringing food. Nan Cheng, am I interrupting you? I prepared lunch for you, and Jingshi. Seeing her appear, the secretary also took the hint and was about to leave. President Yu, I'll be leaving then. But unexpectedly, Nan Cheng stopped her and ordered, Chu Feng, put a stop to the work you have on hand for now and prepare for the wedding first. Hearing this, the secretary was startled. Wedding? Who's getting married? He affirmed with a smile. Me. Anxious that Nan Cheng would marry another woman, she approached worriedly. Nan Cheng, he interrupted before she could finish. Go and prepare. When I'm done with the work at hand, we'll have the wedding. Hearing this, she wanted to confirm, Nan Cheng, are you serious? Nan Cheng was 100% certain. Do you think I can joke about such things? But I won't force anyone. If you're not willing, you can say so directly. But she had no such intention at all and was instead overjoyed. I agree. I've been waiting for these words from you for for 5 years. At this, Nansheng agreed with what she had said before. You were right, Jingshi needs a mother. Besides the maids at home, you're the woman closest to him. No one is more suitable than you. Upon hearing this news, Jingshi couldn't help but drop his writing board. Seeing the boy like this, Nansheng asked with concern, What's wrong, Jingshi? Are you uncomfortable somewhere? He stood up to check on Jingshi, but unexpectedly, the boy slammed the door shut to show his displeasure. She then feigned closeness and proposed, Nansheng, let me go and see. Jingshi and I have a good relationship. Let me try. He agreed without hesitation. Then she pushed open the door. Baby Jingshi, it's anyone. I'm coming in. As soon as she entered, she stepped on Jingshi's drawing board, causing the boy to retreat into a corner in fear. She stood in front of Jingshi without any pretense, revealing a look of disgust. Didn't I tell you to be obedient? Huh? In front of her oppressive presence, the boy was so scared that tears welled up in his eyes. After a while, the door opened, and she came out with a disguised expression on her face, leading Jingshi, Nansheng. She has calmed down. From now on, you and I should film less and spend more time taking care of the child. Once we live together, this probably won't happen again. At this moment, there was only fear in the boy's eyes, but Nansheng didn't notice at all. He thought Jingshi liked her very much, so he decided that it seemed the marriage really couldn't be delayed any longer. A few days later, a notice came through the workgroup chat, stating that there would be a video conference at 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. As Anran was reading the message, Xiao Xing came over and asked, Mom, do you think it's pretty? She answered absent-mindedly, pretty. Just then, a message also came from Lanbao Kindergarten. Dear child Sheng Xiao Xing, you have been admitted to our school. Seeing this message, Anran was surprised. Lanbao bilingual kindergarten admission with full tuition waive. The mother and daughter huddled together to look. Anran asked Xiao Xing in confusion, Xin, you were accepted by Lanbao. Do you know Lanbao? How is this so strange? But the little girl shook her head, denying that she knew Lanbao. She began to browse through articles about Lanbao, trying to figure out the reason, what kind of intervention could get Lanbao to waive tens of thousands in tuition fees. Could it be? Thinking of this, Anran quickly dialed Nansheng's number. She asked softly, President Nan, this is Sheng Anran. I'm sorry to bother you so late. I'd like to take the liberty of asking. I just received an admission notice from Lanbao Bilingual Kindergarten. Did you help with this? He didn't deny it, just wanting to express his gratitude this way. You saved Jingshi. This is just a small gesture, don't worry about it. But the return favor was too great, making Anran hesitate and want to refuse. But this gift, it's too valuable. Before she could finish, Nansheng interrupted her. It's a trivial matter. Beside them, Xiao Xing cleverly acted cute and said, Uncle you likes me. He saw how cute I am and arranged a school for me. Maybe I'll even become his daughter in the future. What's wrong with helping his own daughter? But Anran didn't believe it and, wanting her daughter not to be so narcissistic, scolded her, Don't talk nonsense. I haven't even settled the score with you about the Japanese restaurant last time. Don't make me angry. Xiao Xing's cheeks puffed out as they were pinched. But she was still very optimistic about the two of them. It seems Uncle Yu cares a lot about Mommy. Great-grandpa said he never cares about anyone, but now he's helping Mommy like this. Isn't this the beginning of love? The little girl sighed like an adult. Sigh. Mommy, when will you ever get a clue? Knowing her daughter was letting her imagination run wild again, Anran couldn't help but tap her head firmly. What nonsense are you thinking about now? If you have time, help with some chores. As she was scrolling through her phone, she saw Xiao Xing holding something and asked, What's that? Xiao Xing quickly replied, It's the mail that came today, Mom. While sorting it, a piece of paper fell out from the pile. This made Anran curious. She picked it up and looked. Seeing it was an invitation card, she became even more confused. Meanwhile, Nansheng's voice sounded in the group chat. It's just a trivial matter. He looked at Xiao Xing's personal file with a heavy heart. Such a lively child. How could she have this kind of illness? He didn't expect Xiao Xing to have congenital asthma. Just then, she walked into the office and called out, Nansheng. Seeing her appear at this hour, he put down Xiao Xing's personal file and asked strangely, What are you doing here at this time? She coyly brought up their marriage. Weren't you planning to go to the old residence to discuss the marriage with Grandpa? I'll go with you. I'm a little worried. Do you think this outfit is appropriate? Will Grandpa like it? Hearing this, Nansheng was completely unconcerned and just replied perfunctorily, Anyone will do. Seeing him like this, she felt displeased and shouted, Nansheng. But she noticed the personal file on the desk. What's this? A child's medical record? Who is Xiao Xing? Not wanting her to see any more, Nancheng blocked it with another document and answered casually, the daughter of an employee from the group. But a trace of worry rose in her heart, and she questioned, why are you looking at the medical records of an employee's daughter? Which employee is it? Being suddenly questioned by a woman, he frowned in annoyance. Do I have to report everything I do to you? Realizing she had misspoken, she put on a pitiful look and denied it. That's not what I meant. I was just asking casually. Nancheng didn't seem to fall for her innocent act and immediately sent her away. You asked too many questions. Go home first. I'll head over directly after I finish my work. Hearing this, she had no choice but to obey. I understand, Nancheng. I'll be going then. The moment she left, the office door immediately closed. Outside the office, her expression changed instantly. She memorized the name Sheng Xiaoxing. At the Yu family's old residence, old master Yu called Xiaoxing to ask about the kindergarten. Has Nancheng arranged the kindergarten for you? After getting a reply, old master Yu was very happy. It was settled so quickly. It seems to be very effective. Xiaoxing also happily thanked old master Yu. It's also thanks to you for telling me where uncle was, otherwise I wouldn't have known how to create a chance encounter for them. But old master Yu denied it and highly praised and ran. It's also thanks to your mother being so outstanding. There aren't many women Nancheng would care about. Upon hearing this, the little girl's eyes lit up as if they could pierce through the phone. So you mean my mom has a chance? Old master Yu didn't deny it at all, instead agreeing enthusiastically. Not only is there a chance, but it's a very big one. While old master Yu was still on the phone with Xiaoxing, the butler came to report, Sir, the young master and Miss Gao have arrived. Knowing Nancheng was back, old master Yu quickly hung up the phone. All right, Nancheng is back. I'll ask him what he thinks and then contact you, Xiaoxing. After the three were seated, old master Yu asked about Jingxi. Why didn't you bring Jingxi back with you? But Nancheng only replied, he's been throwing a tantrum lately, so I didn't bring him to bother you. Old master Yu also took this opportunity to urge him to marry. You should take this chance to find a mother for Jingxi to take care of him. How can it be right for him to be with those people all day? This time, Nancheng didn't refuse, but instead agreed. Grandpa is right. I've thought about it too. I plan to get married. Hearing that he planned to get married, old master Yu was very surprised. You're getting married? Nancheng then introduced the woman he wanted to marry to old master Yu. Yes, that's why I brought Yaowen back to talk to you. This news was like a bolt from the blue, making old master Yu very angry. You want to marry this girl? Unable to interfere, old master Yu asked about Jingxi's wishes. What about Jingxi? Does Jingxi agree? He said affirmatively, of course. It mainly depends on Jingxi's opinion. But old master Yu absolutely did not believe it. Impossible. Old master Yu immediately ordered the butler to fetch Jingxi to confirm again. Old Chu, go and bring Jingxi over. Unless Jingxi tells me himself that he agrees, I will not agree. Half an hour passed slowly, and the butler led Jingxi to the villa. Sir, the young master is back. The moment the boy appeared, Yaowen's expression immediately became unnatural, as if giving a warning, making Jingxi too scared to approach. His gaze then became evasive, but old master Yu held out his hand and lovingly called the boy over. Jingxi, come here, come to Grandpa. I heard you want a mother. Hearing this, Jingxi hurriedly shook his head to refuse, but after she shot the boy a glare, Jingxi nodded his head in fear. Yaowen smiled and held out her hand, beckoning. Come here, Jingxi, come to Auntie. Receiving that false concern, the boy became even more frightened, hurriedly ignoring her and running towards old master Yu. Seeing this, old master Yu immediately reprimanded Yaowen. This is how children are. How you communicate with them is how they will respond to you. Faced with old master Yu's reprimand, Yaowen put on a pitiful and gentle facade to admit her mistake. Yes, Grandpa is right. I will treat Jingxi better in the future. Holding Jingxi, old master Yu wanted Nancheng to consider the matter carefully. You're already 30 years old. If you weren't married before, there's no rush now. Marriage requires consideration of all aspects. Let's talk about this later. Facing old master Yu's direct refusal, she felt resentful. Damn old man. He clearly disapproves. All my years of wholehearted dedication to the old residence have been for nothing. Just you wait. This marriage. I must get married. After old master Yu's earlier refusal, he was now looking at his phone and smiling gently. Then he called Xiaoxing and wanted to leave. I have something to attend to. You two can do as you please. Seeing this, Yaowen stood up and bowed respectfully. Be careful on your way, Grandpa. After old master you left, she sat down and said to Nan Sheng, Nan Sheng, it seems Grandpa isn't satisfied with me. But he paid no mind to old master Yu's words. Stroking Jing Shi's head and persuading Yao Wen, why do you care about that? Just prepare yourself and take good care of Jing Shi. That's enough. Before leaving, she didn't forget to play the part of a loving mother and say goodbye to the boy. Auntie is leaving now. Be good at home, Jing Shi. Her face turned gloomy, and she secretly decided, it seems Nan Sheng hasn't changed his mind for now. As long as I can keep him steady, that damn old man's opinion won't matter. Nanshing suddenly became concerned about old Master Yu's affairs and asked the butler, has Grandpa been busy lately? Who was he on the phone with? The butler answered without hiding anything. The master has been in contact with friends a lot recently, but I'm not very clear on the specifics. He was surprised to hear it was friends. That night at Anran's house, Xiaoxing was lying in bed calling old Master Yu. After learning the situation, she was a little unhappy. You didn't tell me there was another person. If you had told me earlier, I wouldn't have let Mommy go. What a hassle. Just then, there was a knock on the door, and Anran came in. Seeing she was still awake, she asked, Xin, it's so late. Why aren't you asleep yet? What are you doing? Xiaoxing hurriedly hid it. I was calling my godmother. She didn't believe her and wanted to say a few words. Is that so? I have something to talk to her about, too. Give me the phone for a moment. Unexpectedly, the little girl cunningly refused. Godmother hung up. Godmother said she's going to sleep. And Rand didn't want to press the issue and upset her daughter, so she let it go, then go to sleep early. Look at the time. Children who don't sleep early won't grow tall. Suddenly, Xiaoxing sat up to gossip with her mom. I just heard some very bad news. Upon hearing this, Anran immediately made a judgment. Is your godmother beating up a client again? The little girl crossed her arms like an adult and said, it's not about my godmother, it's about you. Suddenly hearing bad news about herself that even she didn't know made Anran panic. Me? What's wrong with me? Xiaoxing didn't hesitate to deliver the bad news. Mom, it seems your new target is about to fall through. I heard Uncle is getting married. Hearing this news, she only showed a calm expression and asked, you know about it too? Seeing her mom being so uninspired, Xiaoxing was full of regret. Uncle is rich and handsome. If you married him, you'd definitely live a life of luxury. It's a pity you didn't seize the opportunity, and now he's getting married. Seeing her daughter actually blaming her, and Rand scolded her in annoyance. What on earth are you thinking about in that little head of yours all day? Stop letting your imagination run wild. Xiaoxing sadly tried to get her to reconsider them being together. Are you really not going to reconsider? But Anran was unconcerned and urged, hurry up and go to sleep. The next day, Nan Sheng took Jing Shi to school, and Yao and tag along, very puzzled. Nan Sheng, Jing Shi's tutors at home. Why suddenly bring him to kindergarten? He didn't hide it and said directly, more contact with people is good for his recovery. Hearing this, she smiled and suggested, if Jing Shi likes being around more people, then we can have a few more little brothers and sisters for him in the future. Won't he have company then? But Jing Shi didn't think so, and was instead disgusted. No need. The daughter of an ugly woman is sure to be ugly too. Nan Sheng was displeased to hear this and refused. I have no such plans for now. Having just Jing Shi in the family is enough. Seeing his father thinking so much for his sake, the boy was very happy. Yaowen was furious upon hearing this. What does that mean? Marrying me, but not planning to have children, wanting me to be a nanny to that little brat for life. Arriving at the school, Jing Shi ran off quickly, making Nan Sheng call out in worry. Jing Shi, where are you going? Jing Shi. Just then, the boy ran over and hugged someone's leg. It was Anran. She looked down at Jing Shi and asked kindly, Jing Shi, are you also coming to school here? The boy looked up, his eyes sparkling as he affirmed, At this moment, Xiaoxing also came out and said like a big sister, so you're here too. Then I'll have a companion. I'll look after you from now on. Nan Sheng was suddenly stunned by the scene. Yao Wen, following behind, found Anran somewhat familiar. That little brat is so close to that woman, but she looks so familiar. She happily turned around and greeted her superior, President Nan, Miss Gao, hello. Seeing Jing, she's so happy with Anran, coupled with her greeting just now, made Yao Wen suspicious. President Nan? An employee of Shengting. She then walked forward and asked with concern, Miss Sheng, is this your daughter? What's her name? Xiao Xing, unafraid, naturally stepped forward to introduce herself. My name is Sheng Xiaoxing. You can call me Xin Xin. Hearing the little girl's name, Yaowen began to scheme in her heart. Sheng Xiaoxing, the child from the medical record. Why would Nan Sheng pay attention to this child? These two also look somewhat similar. What am I thinking? It's impossible. Seeing her expression, Xiao Xing was a little displeased. Hearing this question, Anran immediately stopped her warily. What do you mean by that? Are you running a background check? She quickly found an excuse to cover for the question. Xin grew up abroad. She doesn't understand the issue of surnames. Miss Gao, if you want to know something, just ask me directly. Hearing this, Yaowen asked without hesitation. Then I'll be direct. I'm actually very curious. Lanbao isn't a place ordinary children can get into. Miss Yang's husband must be very outstanding, right? Hearing this question, Anran was truly speechless. She didn't know what to say. Nanxing also didn't want Yaowen to pry into other people's affairs and stopped her. This is someone else's private matter. But she didn't listen, making an excuse. I'm just a little curious. Maybe Miss Sheng's husband is one of her business partners. He was very displeased with that remark and demanded, your curiosity is a bit excessive. You go wait in the car. I'll take Jingxi inside. Hearing these words, Anran's favorable impression of Nan Sheng increased, and she breathed a sigh of relief in her heart. Phew, thank goodness President Nan saved the day. President Nan is such a good person. Being sent away like that, she was truly unwilling, and suspicion grew in her heart. That little girl and Nan Qing definitely have a complicated relationship. That child is also, what a coincidence. Seeing the murderous aura emanating from Yaowen, Xiao Xing was very uncomfortable. Brother Jingxi, is that your future stepmom? Her expression is so scary. Jingxi became even sadder after hearing those words. But luckily, Xiao Xing was there to comfort him. Brother Jingxi, don't cry. In the future, my mom will be your mom. Don't worry, as long as I have a bite of meat to eat, I won't let you just drink the soup. Hearing this, the boy wrote something on a piece of paper, making her curious. What are you writing, Brother Jingxi? There are so many words I don't recognize. Suddenly, Jingxi pounced on Nan Sheng and then had him read it out to Xiao Xing. My dad has money. We can eat meat. We don't need to just drink soup. Jingxi, what is this you've written? After Nan Sheng finished reading, the boy happily ran toward Xiao Xing, seeing his son so happy and so close to Xiao Xing and Anran. He was relieved. It seems Jingxi really likes the two of them. She also chimed in. Xiao Xing also likes Jingxi very much. Thank you so much for Xin school admission. Nan Sheng didn't think much of the thanks. It's nothing. The two children get along well. Xin is very lively, and more contact with her is good for Jingxi. I hope she can be friends with Jingxi. Hearing the real reason Nan Sheng sponsored Xiao Xing, Anran was truly helpless, spending tens of thousands just to find a classmate for his son. As expected of a president, rich people are really different. It was now time for class, and the teacher came out to take the two children inside. Jingxi, Xin, it's time for class. I'll take you two in. If the parents would like, you could take a tour of Lanbao. Hearing that the two of them would tour together, Anran asked again for confirmation. President Nan, are we going to tour together? Huh. Unexpectedly, he just gave a cold MHM in reply. As the two toured together, they had two completely opposite assessments. Arriving at the cafeteria, Nan Sheng thought the hygiene was not up to standard. Bad review. Anran, however, loved the place. The food is so rich and varied. In the classroom, he commented uncomfortably. The seats are too close. But unexpectedly, she exclaimed in amazement, wow, the equipment is so complete. On the playground, Nanxing said uncomfortably, not slip-proof, bad review. Seeing Nanxing's terrible expression, Anran had to ask with concern, is there something you're not satisfied with? An indescribable worry rose in his heart, and he wondered, don't you think the safety measures are too poor? The slide, the swings. Seeing Nanxing's expression, Anran was truly speechless. So this is what you're like, Nanxing? He kept nagging about the safety issues here. What if he falls off while on the swing? And the lawn hasn't been cleaned properly. She could easily trip. Knowing he was too worried about his son, she quickly comforted him. President Nan, relax a little. Are you too worried about Jingxi? It's normal for children to get bumps and bruises. It's through collisions that they learn how to better protect themselves. After this persuasion, Nansheng seemed to have no choice but to accept. That makes sense. Seeing him agree with her so easily, Anran was surprised. That easy? She couldn't help but say with a smile. So President Nan is so easy to coax. Hearing Anran's words, Nansheng was stunned. Easy to coax? Knowing he didn't understand, she explained patiently, it means you're quite willing to listen to other people's opinions. These words truly made him suspicious. In your eyes, am I a despotic person? But she quickly and decisively denied it. No, who doesn't know that our President Nan is young and promising, not a despotic tyrant at all. Nansheng didn't seem to believe it and repeated, tyrant? Then he suddenly blocked her way, making her flustered. Why are you suddenly so close? Seeing his approaching face, Anran shyly cleared her throat. Ahem. Then she seriously told him what she believed was right. I just think that children also need their own space. They can't grow up in a greenhouse. We all have our own unique lives. If you protect him in your world, and he doesn't come into contact with the outside world, he will never know what kind of life he yearns for. These words really made Nansheng take notice. Jingxi's own life? A unique life? Although she knew, and Ran seemed to understand his excessive worry. Perhaps it's because Jingxi can't speak that you're so worried? Nansheng didn't make excuses and directly blamed himself for everything. In any case, if it weren't for my negligence, Jingxi wouldn't be afraid to speak. At this point, he also opened up to Anran and began to talk about the past. Jingxi had a high fever when he was 2, and after that, he refused to speak again. The doctor said his vocal cords and nerves were not damaged. It was just a psychological issue. Knowing the reason for Jingxi's inability to speak, Anran was very surprised. A psychological issue? What was the cause? Nansheng's face darkened as he recalled the past. That high fever came very suddenly. The servants at the old residence knew nothing, and they couldn't find out the cause of the matter. Knowing that she could never make up for past mistakes, Anran advised him to look forward. It's all in the past, President Nan. Things will get better in the future. As she spoke, Nansheng suddenly looked at his watch and realized it was time to go to the company. If I remember correctly, there's a meeting at 10 o'clock this morning. I'm the boss. I could be a little late. What about Director Sheng Anran? Hearing this, Anran was so scared she ran off. I'll be going first, President Nan. You don't need to rush. Take your time. Be sure to take your time. Seeing her hurried appearance, he couldn't help but smile and affirm to himself, I didn't expect her to be so good at taking care of children. I should exchange more parenting experiences with her in the future. A while later, Anran had already left the kindergarten, the previous worry still lingering in her mind. He must have done that on purpose, waiting to see me make a fool of myself. As she was walking, she suddenly looked up and heard Yao when leaning against the car, proposing unhurriedly, Director Sheng, you're alone. How about we have a little chat? She crossed her arms and repeated the fact that she and Nansheng were getting married. I'm sure you know that Nansheng and I are getting married soon. Anran also answered straightforwardly, with no other intention. It's the talk of the company. It'd be hard not to know. Hearing this, Yaowen was smug and reminded Anran to retract any improper thoughts she might have. It's good that you know. I also hope my wedding with Nansheng can proceed smoothly, and it would be best if no one with delusional fantasies comes to disturb us. Anran understood the meaning of this sentence, but still wanted to ask again to confirm. Miss Gao, what do you mean by this? Yao would no longer beat around the bush and said directly, do you need me to spell it out for you? I mean, you should stay away from Nansheng. Hearing this, she knew Yaowen had misunderstood her relationship with Nansheng, so she denied it directly. Miss Gao, President Yu and I have a superior subordinate relationship. If you're dissatisfied with anything, please go directly to President Yu. Excuse me, but I won't be keeping you company. After speaking, Anran turned to leave, but she wouldn't let her go, even saying some contemptuous words, still pretending. Isn't it all for money? I've seen plenty of people like you. She was truly angered by Yaowen, fuming internally. What kind of person is this? If it weren't for her connections, I would have cursed her out long ago. And you, Nansheng, can't you control your soon-to-be wife? While Anran was fuming, she pouted her lips angrily, looking extremely cute, which made Nansheng, who came out and saw this scene, unable to help but smile. What's wrong with her now? It looks like she's been wronged. Yaowen quickly turned her face, feigning a delicate appearance, and asked Nan Sheng, "Are you very familiar with Director Sheng?" But he denied it without hesitation. Not familiar. She still didn't believe it. But you even handled the matter of her daughter's kindergarten enrollment. Isn't that being too concerned? Hearing these words, which sounded like a reprimand, made him uncomfortable, and he asked directly, "I don't remember telling you about this." Realizing she had let it slip, she quickly defended herself. Nan Sheng, I just happened to find out while chatting with the driver. I didn't intentionally inquire about it. After hearing these words, Nan Sheng couldn't help but think long and hard about what he had done. She's right. If it was just to thank her for saving Jingxi, it really wasn't necessary to go this far. She's really special, with a very familiar feeling. At the Xingtang group, the secretary called out, "President Yu." He walked forward and instructed, "Start the meeting once everyone is here." As he sat down to start the meeting, Nan Sheng noticed that Anran had not yet arrived and asked, "Where is Director Sheng?" A director immediately answered for her, "President Yu, the hotel has an important wedding planning event today." Director Sheng went to the site. Hearing this, he only replied calmly, "I see." Then, he learned from other employees that Director Sheng was upstairs checking rooms for a guest. Another employee said, "Director Sheng has clients this afternoon, so she went to pick them up. The wedding preparations are almost done, just missing one special type of flower." Director Sheng went to rush the order. When Nan Sheng caught up and tried to call out to Anran, she immediately cut him off, wanting to avoid him. "President Yu, I'm off work, and I still have to pick up my child." Anran hurried away, but didn't forget to politely bid her boss farewell. "Goodbye, President Yu." Seeing her obvious actions, he realized it and asked the secretary directly, "Is she avoiding me?" The secretary hesitated when asked, Maybe Director Sheng is just too busy." On the other side, Anran, having avoided Nan Sheng, breathed a sigh of relief. She found that he had been seeking her out frequently lately and couldn't figure it out. "What's wrong with you, Nan Sheng, lately? Is a domineering CEO this idol? I have to stay away from him, otherwise a certain someone will get insecure and come looking for trouble, and I'll be exhausted again." Just then, Shu Jing called. As soon as she answered, Shu Jing on the other end of the line reported urgently, "Anran, there's news about the necklace you were investigating. The owner of the necklace is the man from that year. As long as we find him, we can find the child who was taken away." After hanging up, another call came in. It was her stepsister, Sheng Anran, who appeared with a contemptuous expression. "It really is you. You haven't been home in 5 years. If Dad knew you were back in the capital and didn't tell him, how disappointed he would be." Anran didn't give her a pleasant look and scorned her directly. "Sheng Anran, isn't this exactly what you wanted? Without me to fight for the family inheritance, you and your mother must wake up laughing every night." Her words made Anran furious, and she denied it. "Don't you slander people. I am the eldest daughter of the Sheng family. The Sheng family fortune was supposed to have my share in the first place." Anran was unfazed and continued to poke at her sore spot. "Eldest daughter? An illegitimate daughter, you mean? What a fitting title. I won't keep you company, eldest Miss Sheng." Anran couldn't stand it and immediately warned, "Sheng Anran, you just wait. If you have the guts, never come back." She thought resentfully, damn it, the plan back then was clearly perfect. She should have been utterly disgraced. Who on earth took her away? Forget it. If it comes to it, I'll just do it again. That night, Nan Sheng was lying in bed, and Yaowen was on top of him, calling out incessantly, Nan Sheng, are you still awake?" She gently touched his face, then remembered, "I forgot, how could he still be awake after taking the medicine?" A moment earlier, Yaowen had brought him a glass of water. "Nan Sheng, have some water." He had taken it without any suspicion that "It's late, you should go back first." Seeing her plan was about to succeed, she was thrilled. "Nan Sheng, you see, firing the driver actually created an opportunity for me. This is truly a blessing from heaven. After today, I will be the rightful Mrs. Yu." Just as she was rejoicing that her plan was about to succeed, a sound from outside made her alert. "Who is it?" She couldn't help but curse towards the outside. "Didn't I say not to come in and disturb me?" But then she saw that the person who came was Yu Jingxi. Yaowen just commanded calmly, "Why are you so disobedient? Who let you come up here? Go back to your room, quickly." But the boy refused to listen, firmly holding her hand tightly. "I don't want this ugly woman to be my mom." Seeing how Jingxi was being a nuisance now, she flew into a rage and cursed, "Get lost. Don't ruin my plans." She shoved the boy directly down the stairs. With her push, Jingxi fell heavily and passed out. Seeing that she had caused a huge disaster, Yaowen panicked. "How did this happen?" "No, I can't let anyone find out it was me. This brat wouldn't dare to defy me. He won't cause any trouble. It's best if he's dead. It's more important to hurry up and make this a done deal. She looked at her hand that had just pushed Jingshi down. Then she hid in the room, nervously biting her nails, listening to the panicked voices of the maids outside. The young master fell. He's bleeding a lot. Call a doctor quickly. Where's the master? Quick, tell the master. At that moment, she also hurriedly climbed onto Nancheng's bed. Just as the maid ran in and shouted, "Master, something's happened." Yaowen, seeing someone enter, yelled loudly, "Who let you in?" Nancheng was also woken by the noise, and he sat up groggily. "Why are you here?" Yaowen feigned shyness, narrating something that had not happened. "Nancheng, I brought you back, and then you kept wanting." He couldn't remember anything, only feeling a headache. When the maid reported, "Master," the young master just fell down the stairs. Nancheng was so shocked he became instantly sober. "What did you say?" At the hospital, Anran learned that Jingshi was injured and came to visit with Xiaoxin. As they walked, Xiaoxin urged her mother, "Mom, come on, Brother Jingshi is in this room. Let's go see him." She didn't know how Xiaoxin knew about this and questioned her. "Where did you hear that Jingshi had an accident in the middle of the night? Are you dreaming?" But the little girl asserted confidently, "I know. If you don't believe me, come and see with me." Anran hurriedly stopped her. "Xiaoxin, we'll disturb others if we go in like this." Just then, the door opened, and Chairman Yu also appeared, asking sternly, "Who are you?" Upon seeing Chairman Yu, Xiaoxin quickly introduced herself. "Hello, my name is Sheng Xiaoxin. This is my mom. We're here to visit Brother Jingshi." Knowing Chairman Yu's identity, Anran also hurriedly greeted him. "Hello, Chairman Yu. I am Sheng Anran, the director of Shengtang Hotel." At that moment, Xiaoxin winked at Chairman Yu, as if their plan had succeeded. Seeing Chairman Yu at the hospital, Anran also confirmed what Xiaoxin had said earlier. "Chairman Yu is here too. It seems Jingshi is really injured." Chairman Yu spoke and let them in. "Come in." As soon as she entered, she saw Jingshi lying unconscious on the hospital bed, which made Anran extremely worried. How could Jingshi suddenly fall down the stairs? His head was hit, he got a few stitches, and his arm is also fractured. She couldn't help but walk over and stroke the boy's head. Poor child. Just then, Nancheng's voice rang out, asking, "Why are you here?" Anran turned her head and saw him walking in with Yaowen. He questioned urgently, "Besides the maids at home, no one knows about Jingshi's injury. Where did you hear the news from?" Anran herself had heard it from Xiaoxin, but didn't know how to explain, stammering. Suddenly, Chairman Yu slammed his cane heavily on the ground. Then he asked Nancheng with a dark face, "I told her, what about it? You still have the nerve to suspect others? Look how well she takes care of her daughter. And then look at yourself. Jingshi can even get injured at home." Nancheng only felt guilty after hearing this, and said nothing. Yaowen quickly explained the reason. "Grandpa, Nancheng was too tired today. He didn't want this to happen either." But Chairman Yu didn't want to hear it, pointing at her face and threatening. "Shut up. I will investigate today's matter thoroughly. No one involved should think of escaping." Chairman Yu, who had just been expressing his dissatisfaction with the two, turned around and immediately changed his expression to say to Anran, "Miss Sheng, I heard you saved Jingshi before, and Jingshi likes you very much. See if you have time. I wonder if it would be convenient for you to visit Jingshi often. He would definitely be very happy." Hearing this proposal, Anran was also very willing to help. "Of course, I like Jingshi very much too." After entrusting her, Chairman Yu turned his face and said sternly to Yaowen, "And you, why are you still here?" She quickly put on a pitiful look and left. "Then I won't disturb you anymore." But in her heart was a hypocritical and resentful face. Why is that old man so nice to her? Does he plan to make her Yu Jingshi's stepmother? That won't do. I have to get rid of her quickly. After chasing Yao went away, Chairman Yu gave Xiaoxin a look, and the little girl cleverly responded. Then Xiaoxin complained with her exaggerated acting skills. "Grandpa Yu, I'm so hungry." Chairman Yu also immediately followed up, playing along with her plan. "Let Grandpa take you to eat something delicious. The nutritional meals here are quite good." When Anran wanted to stop her, "Wait." The two had already disappeared without a trace. Finally, only two people were left in the room, so Anran asked about Jingshi's condition. "Did the doctor say when he'll wake up?" Nanxing knew she was concerned about his son, and also replied, "Because of the anesthetic injection, the effect hasn't worn off yet." Knowing she was a busy person, he also understandingly advised her, "Don't mind what Grandpa said. You are also very busy. I will arrange things regarding Jingxi. But Anran didn't feel it was any trouble and also agreed. It's okay. I also want to visit Jingxi. He likes the food I make. Maybe he will recover faster. Hearing these words really made Nansheng have to ponder, asking himself, Sheng Anran, are you this nice to everyone? Chairman Yu and Xiaoxin were eavesdropping outside, happy that their plan had succeeded. Outside the hospital, Yaowen was shocked after hearing the information from the other end of the phone. What? She gritted her teeth in hatred because she had learned about the blood relationship between Anran and Jingxi. Sheng Anran and Yu Jingxi's relationship is that of mother and son. The person on the other end of the phone couldn't help but sigh at this awkward situation. For the partners of a one-night stand from years ago to meet again, don't you think it's fate? Finally, Yaowen could be certain, so it was her. The person on the other end of the phone, having reported everything, didn't forget to remind her, don't forget the rest of the money. After hanging up, she fell into a deep thought of a series of conspiracies. No, I absolutely cannot let Nanxing know about this. Otherwise, I won't have any chance of winning at all. Yao would immediately send a file to someone and demanded, I'm sending you a file. Take care of everyone on it who knows about this, including the detective surnamed Gu. The next day, Anran and Xiaoxin arrived at the Yu family villa. As soon as he saw it was them, Jingxi happily opened the door for the two. Seeing Xiaoxin run over to hug Jingxi, Anran hurriedly stopped her. Xiaoxin, don't touch your brother's arm. But the little girl didn't care at all and asked with concern, Brother Jingxi, are you okay? Nanxing also came out in casual clothes to greet the two. You're here. Anran was also very aware that she was a guest and expressed, President Yu, this week has been too busy. I only have time to see Jingxi now. Sorry for the intrusion. He didn't mind and invited them into the house. As soon as she entered, she saw the newly decorated interior and was speechless with surprise. This is... Nanxing also patiently explained the reason. Jingxi insisted on decorating all of this to welcome you two to our home. Upon seeing the big bear, Xiaoxin hurriedly ran over and shouted, Wow, the bear is so big. Seeing her daughter so happy, she was relieved, and a ripple seemed to stir in her heart as well. Seeing Anran yawning tiredly, Nanxing asked with concern, Are you very tired? She also admitted, Yes, I recently started sending Xiaoxin to kindergarten, and partly because the hotel's proposal has also reached a critical stage, so I haven't had time to rest. At this moment, he suddenly suggested, If you're too tired, why not take a vacation? Knowing his intentions were good, she still refused. Let's forget it. It's all work I'm responsible for. I remember we still have a bet waiting. I won't slack off. After a while, a loud thunderclap sounded outside, making Anran worried and wanting to go home early before the rain got heavier. It's thundering. It's going to rain. We should hurry home. Nanchang felt it was a pity she was leaving so soon. Do you have to go now? Anran was sure she had to go home and also promised to come again next time. It is getting a bit late. I'll stay longer to play with Jingxi another day when I have time. As soon as she finished speaking, she went into the house to find Xiaoxin to go home. Xiaoxin, come here, we're going home. But the little girl cunningly hugged the teddy bear and put on a pitiful look so that she and Nanchang could have more contact. Mom, I'm so scared of thunder. Can we not go out? Anran didn't seem to believe her words and exposed her directly. How come I don't remember you being afraid of thunder? Xiaoxin, what are you up to again? The little girl pretended not to hear. But when she saw him, she put on a pitiful look and called out, Uncle Yu. In the end, faced with Xiaoxin's coaxing, he also softened and persuaded Anran. The thunder is so loud, it's normal for a child to be scared. When the rain stops, I'll have the driver take you two home. But she didn't accept it and wanted to teach him a lesson. President Yu, you can't raise a child without principles. Before she could finish her sentence, Jingxi threw himself into her arms with a cute expression, making her heart soften. Hey, Jingxi doesn't want to be separated from Xiaoxin. The boy said affirmatively. In the end, she had no choice but to accept. All right, then I'll stay a little longer. Nancheng, like a father, carried Xiaoxin into the room and suggested, If you still have to write your proposal, just go to the study. I'll play with the kids. Seeing him here, Anran was also relieved, so she accepted, Okay, President Yu. Suddenly, she realized she was being exploited by this devil boss. Wait a minute, no way. I'm writing a proposal, and you're sitting and playing with the kids? Although she thought so, Anran still focused on finishing the proposal. Finally finished writing, let's go home. Arriving at the little one's room, she was expecting a happy scene with them. What's wrong with these kids? But she was even more surprised to see the three of them already asleep. Seeing that Nancheng was not properly covered by the blanket, Anran tiptoed closer, wanting to cover him with it. Unexpectedly, at this moment, he tightly grabbed her hand and pulled her closer. He even mumbled a command, "Don't move." Afraid that he would wake up and misunderstand the current situation, she decided to take a photo as evidence. Take a picture and show it to him when he wakes up. When the phone captured the photo, Nansheng's beauty was magnified even more, making Anran feel shy and infatuated as she looked. "What am I doing? No matter how handsome President Yu is, he's still my boss. I must be sleep-deprived lately." Finally, not wanting to be in this situation any longer, she tried to pull her hand out. "Let me get my arm out first." As soon as she pulled her hand out of his, she looked at her hand happily, relieved. "I got it out." At the same time, Nansheng also woke up and witnessed what had just happened. "What are you doing?" Anran approached, wanting to explain the situation. "President Yu, let me explain." But Nansheng didn't listen and cut her off directly. "How do you want to explain, Miss Shang? Don't tell me I was dreaming and pulled you over." Being told this, she didn't know how to argue and stammered. "Well, it's not entirely impossible, right?" Just then, a phone call came in, and Anran quickly answered it. "Hello." She was grateful in her heart that this call came at the right time. "Whose call is this? What a lifesaver." Li Yu on the other end of the line asked with concern, "Anran, am I disturbing you this late?" Knowing it was Li Yu, she was confused. "Li Yu? Why is it her?" She mentioned the engagement invitation she had sent her before and repeated, "Actually, I was afraid you didn't see the engagement invitation we sent you. You must remember to come, and also remember to bring your boyfriend." Suddenly saying she had to bring a boyfriend made Anran panic. "Wait, when did I get a boyfriend?" But she didn't listen and insisted on her arrangement. "We'll be waiting for you anytime." Meanwhile, Nansheng heard the whole conversation and kindly wanted to help. "Need help? Like last time, pretending to be your boyfriend." On the wedding day, Anran also came to Chao Zhe and Li Yu's wedding out of courtesy. As soon as she arrived, someone started gossiping about her. "Isn't that Sheng Anran who was abandoned by Chao Zhe and then dropped out of school and disappeared?" Hearing those gossips, she was glad Nansheng hadn't come with her. "Luckily, I didn't let President Yu come with me. Otherwise, who knows what kind of rumors they would spread. I have to explain it clearly to President Yu in the end." She wanted to ignore the gossip, but those people became more and more excessive. "Oh, you don't know anything?" Just then, Chao Zhe also came out to greet her. "Anran, why are you here? You're so beautiful now. I almost didn't recognize you." Anran was very uncomfortable hearing those words and wanted to get angry, but still replied calmly, "Of course I came because I received the invitation. Your bride-to-be called me in the middle of the night. If I didn't come, it would seem like I had something to hide." At his own wedding, Chao Zhe shamelessly tried to explain and defend himself. "I'm sorry. I didn't know Li Yu would be so abrupt and make things difficult for you." "Anran, actually I don't love her. I've really regretted it these past few years. I regret that day." Before he could say those disgusting words, Li Yu immediately appeared, linking her arm with his and showing off their affection. "Ize." Seeing Anran, she leaned in to act. "I was wondering who Ize was talking to." "Anran, why did you come alone? Didn't you say you were bringing your boyfriend?" Chao Zhe was really surprised to hear she had a boyfriend. Li Yu confirmed from the side. "That's right, Anran's boyfriend is the young master of the Shengshi group. We all met him last time. Have you forgotten?" At the same time, Anyao also appeared, sarcastically saying to Anran, "With just you want to climb up to the young master of the Shengshi group? You're all talk. Sheng Anran, you dropped out of school and fooled around outside. I feel ashamed for the family." Hearing Anyao say everything so clearly only gave the others more to talk about. "Oh, that's the eldest daughter of the Sheng family. How does she know so much about Sheng Anran? Their names are so similar. Could they be sisters? I've never heard of the Sheng family having two daughters. Is this Anran an illegitimate daughter?" Anran couldn't stand the accusations in front of her and asked her directly, "Sheng Anyao, what right do you have to criticize me? Do you need me to tell everyone about all the good things you've done?" Anyao didn't want her own scandals to be exposed, so she used her story to cover it up. "No matter what you say, it won't change the fact that you fell on your own." "Do you dare to say it again, boss?" "Your boyfriend." Meanwhile, Chao Zhe also stood up to defend and ran, but in reality, he was extremely hypocritical. "Miss Shang, why must you push her like this? And Ran just didn't want us to worry, right? And Ran, explain it to everyone. There's no misunderstanding that can't be cleared up." These people ganging up to slander her made her very uncomfortable. "Why should I?" Just then, Nansheng's voice came firmly from outside. "My fiancé, why should she have to explain anything to you?" Seeing that it was him who spoke, she was very surprised. Nansheng, why are you here?" Hearing his name, and Ran was even more stunned. What did she say? He is Lu Nansheng. Seeing the two of them standing side by side, looking very much in love. The guests at the wedding immediately swarmed over, scrambling to confirm and wanting to build connections. I've seen Mr. Lu. It's really him. She really is Mr. Lu's girlfriend. Mr. Lu said she's his fiancée. She might be Mrs. Lu in the future. Seeing everyone ignoring the main characters of the wedding and flocking to Nansheng, Li Yue panicked. Hey, today is my engagement party. At his own wedding, Chao Zhe still had improper thoughts about Anran. Exactly. How can she be someone else's fiancée? The crowd surrounded the two. Mr. Lu, I've always admired you. You are my idol. Mr. Lu, can I have your contact information? I have a big project. It's not convenient to talk here. Mr. Lu, do you remember me? I was the person in charge of the Qinjie project. We met 2 years ago. Knowing she had caused trouble for him, Anran quietly tried to find a way to escape. Mr. Lu, let's find an excuse to leave. I've troubled you today. After hearing this, Nansheng brazenly teased her. Director Shang is only realizing its trouble now. I didn't see you minding the trouble when you were pretending to be my girlfriend earlier. Meanwhile, Chao Zhe pushed through the crowd to toast Nansheng and Anran that don't be in such a hurry to leave. I didn't expect you to really be with Mr. Lu. I sincerely wish you well. Come, let's clink glasses as a farewell. He also stepped forward without hesitation to block the drink for her. She's not a good drinker. I'll drink on her behalf. But Chao Zhe, who was about to get married, said, this is between us. It's not quite appropriate for Mr. Lu to do it for her, is it? Nansheng bluntly retorted. She's with me now. What's not appropriate? Not wanting this chaotic scene to continue, Anran snatched the glasses from their hands and said, isn't it just a glass of wine? What's with all the pushing and pulling? I'll drink it. Here's to us, never seeing each other again. After speaking, she downed it in one gulp. But seeing her drink, Chao Zhe revealed a roguish smile, thinking to himself, never see each other again? Unfortunately, that's not up to you. Just after she finished drinking, a wave of dizziness hit her. Oh, why am I a little dizzy? Seeing this, Chao Zhe stepped forward with false concern. You really can't hold your liquor. I've booked a room upstairs in advance. Let me help you up to rest. But Nansheng didn't give him the chance, pulling and ran into his arms and refusing. That won't be necessary. I'm taking her home. Seeing the intimate scene between the two, Chao Zhe's smile faltered, but he still tried to persuade. There are many guests in the hall. Just let her rest here. Realizing he kept trying to keep Anran here, Nansheng directly exposed him. You want her to stay that badly? Mr. Chao, could it be that you have some special arrangements? Knowing he'd been seen through, he had to give up. No, I was just worried about her. Nansheng didn't want to say any more to him and left with Anran. We won't trouble Mr. Chao then. We'll take our leave. Seeing his plan fall through just like that, Chao Zhe was extremely unwilling. Damn it. As soon as they got in the car, the drug in Anran's system took effect. She couldn't hold it in any longer and wanted to let loose. Hot. So hot. Lu Nansheng, I'm so hot. Seeing her like this, he was also certain that there was a problem with that glass of wine. She panted continuously, pressing herself against Nansheng's warm skin. Knowing this couldn't go on, he persuaded her, just bear with it a little longer, we'll be at the hospital soon. But she wouldn't listen, doing as she pleased, provoking a helpless cry from Nansheng. Sheng Anran, get a grip. Anran's reason was consumed by the drug, and she just kept clinging to him. Arousing the fire of desire in his heart, he pressed her down beneath him, then moved closer, giving her one last warning before acting. I warned you, this is your own choice. That night, in the hotel, everything descended into chaos. Nansheng looked at the soundly sleeping Anran in his arms, savoring the moment. She was so wild in the car, yet so quiet when asleep. He picked up his phone and got up. He immediately answered the call and got straight to the point. Have you found the missing butler? Have him come see me. After a night of passion, Anran opened her eyes and woke up. Feeling sore, she thought in a daze, why is my whole body aching? At the same time, Nansheng asked, you're awake? Hearing his voice, Anran immediately turned around. She gasped, Mr. Lu, why are you? He answered without a change in expression, this is my home. His words threw her into complete confusion. Your home? How did I get here? What happened? What happened? She quickly pulled up the blanket to check her body. Did we? Nansheng didn't shy away, admitting frankly, we did everything. This statement made Anran so ashamed she could have died, hiding under the covers. Knowing how she felt, he didn't say much, just gave instructions. I'll go downstairs first. I prepared clothes for you by the bed. Change and come down for breakfast. Hiding under the covers, and Ran embarrassedly recalled last night's events. Oh my God, how did I end up sleeping with my boss? After changing and going downstairs, she saw everyone at the dining table. Old Master Lu was very happy to see Anran and immediately greeted her. Xiao Shang, I didn't expect to see you today. Come sit, eat with the family. After what had just happened, seeing everyone now made her even more embarrassed. She quickly waved her hands. No need. Chairman Lu, how could I dare to eat with you? The scene became awkward for a moment. Nanqing calmly pulled out a chair and called her over. Eat first. You haven't eaten all day. I'll take you and the child home after we eat. Seeing Nanqing's concern for Anran, Old Master Lu and Xiao Jing exchanged excited glances. Finally, Old Master Lu cleared his throat and stood up. Ahem, I know about what happened between you two. I trust Nanqing will give you a proper account. Hearing that Old Master Lu knew about last night, Anran became even more flustered. Chairman Lu, you've misunderstood. There's nothing between Mr. Lu and me. You don't need to give me any account. Nanqing took a sip of tea and affirmed, Grandpa, don't get involved. But Old Master Lu insisted on meddling. How can I not get involved in your affairs? If you and Xiao Shang are fond of each other, then clear up all those messy rumors. I think you two are a good match. These words left Anran completely bewildered. Fond of each other? Since when? Old Master Lu didn't say more. Holding his two grandchildren and grinning from ear to ear, he instructed, You two don't be in a hurry to leave tonight either. Just stay here and rest. Jing, there's a toy room here. Let's go play. Faced with this situation, Anran was truly stunned by the sudden turn of events. Old Master Lu didn't want to be a third wheel, and before leaving, he gave a knowing look, saying trustfully, I've given you the opportunity. Explain it well. After a while, the two sat side by side, the atmosphere quiet and awkward. Nanqing suddenly took the initiative to ask about today's events. I want to ask you, have we really never met before? But why do I feel a sense of familiarity with you? Anran suddenly interrupted him. Mr. Lu, today was just an accident. You don't have to take it to heart. We are both adults. I won't mind, and I don't need you to be responsible. I'm not that kind of person. Hearing the words won't mind, his face grew colder. Knowing she couldn't aim so high, Anran explained, Yes, it's just that Chairman Lu misunderstood the situation just now. He must have thought we liked each other. That's why he said those things. We can explain it clearly to him later. The more Nanqing listened, the darker his face became. Unable to bear it any longer, he stood up and interjected. You're right. There was a reason for what happened today, and I will investigate it thoroughly. I only came to the engagement party because Jingshi suddenly begged me to. Since that's the case, then let's not let anyone misunderstand. He left, but his heart was filled with vexation. If she doesn't mind at all, then what does that make me? Just her antidote? Seeing Nanqing leave, Anran breathed a sigh of relief. What a mess. Just then, her phone vibrated. It was a message from Chelsea telling her good news. Anran, I'm coming back to the country soon. Seeing that her friend was returning, she was very happy. Chelsea, this big star finally is time to come back. That night, after Anran put Xiao Jing to sleep, she really couldn't understand the little girl's reaction, finally asleep. Why was she so excited when she saw Mr. Lu and Jingshi? In her sleep, Xiao Jing unconsciously called out Daddy, causing a pang in Anran's heart. Jing really wanted a father, but how could I possibly be with Mr. Lu? She thought of the happy scene of a family of 4. If it were with Lu Nansheng, she quickly snapped back to her senses. Oh my God, what am I thinking? After putting Xiao Jing to sleep, she felt hungry and went to the kitchen to find something to eat. Is there anything to eat? Just then, Nanqing appeared like a ghost and asked, What are you doing? This sudden appearance startled her, but she just smiled awkwardly and brushed it off. I can't possibly say I'm so hungry I'm seeing stars. At the same time, Nanqing's stomach growled, and the two looked at each other awkwardly. Mr. Lu is also, huh? He opened the fridge to see if there was anything to eat, but it was empty. Looks like there's nothing to eat. Meanwhile, Anran peeked in to see. Let me see. Seeing that there were plenty of cooking ingredients in the fridge, she became excited. There are quite a few ingredients here. Anran took out an egg and suggested with a bright smile, Want to try my cooking? Nanqing seemed moved by her appearance and replied, Okay. So, Anran started the fire to cook noodles. The scene of the two, standing in the kitchen, formed a perfect picture. She thought Nanqing was very cold, but he noticed the little things around her. Your apron string is loose. Hearing this, she shyly grabbed the apron string and stammered, I can do it myself. This situation made both of them feel awkward, avoiding each other. Finally, the food was ready. Anran smiled and handed Nanqing a bowl. Here, try it. Seeing that he didn't move his chopsticks, she was puzzled. Why aren't you eating? Don't tell me I have to wait on you, young master. But she immediately understood and asked with concern, why aren't you eating? Have you never had this before? Nanching confirmed without hesitation. Never. Hearing this, and Rand said sympathetically, I get it. It was the same for me when I was the second young miss of the Chung family, not to mention my stepmother and the others. This kind of Zhajiangmian, I bet they'd never eat it in their lifetime. Suddenly, Nanching mentioning you. I remember your sister is your half-sister, and she's only 2 months older than you. Seeing how well-informed he was about her family situation, and Rand became even more curious. Mr. Liu even investigated this? He didn't want to admit he cared about her, so he used his son as an excuse. Jing sure likes you a lot. Of course I have to understand a little. Finally, Nanching asked bluntly, your father cheated, don't you hate him? This question did make Rand sad, reminding her of her late mother. I just feel it's unfair to my mom. Nanchung suddenly said sternly, if it were me, I would have kicked him and that mistress out of the house together. As soon as he finished speaking, he stood up, making Rand worry. Are you angry? Did I say something wrong? In the room, a book was thrown down, along with a happy photo of a father and son. Nanching lay on the bed, his heart filled with resentment. It was that woman who betrayed my father back then, causing his early death. Letting her off is the right thing to do. Thinking of this, he threw the photo away. The next day, at the company, and Rand thought about Nanching's anger from yesterday, unable to understand. What's wrong with Lu Nanching? Why did he react so strongly? Meanwhile, a discussion broke out in front of the hotel. Is that Xiao Shi? It is him. Can I get his autograph? Hearing someone mention Xiao Shi's name caught Rand's attention. Seeing Xiao Shi just appear at the hotel entrance like that, and Rand was truly helpless. It's him. Standing at the entrance like this, something big is going to happen. He is the cellist artist Chelsea. As soon as he saw Rand, he greeted her excitedly. Hi, I'm back. Seeing that Chelsea was too conspicuous, and Rand went over and took his hand, then pulled him into the hotel, making Xiao Shi very unhappy. Why are you walking so fast? In a secluded corner, and Rand was out of breath, making Xiao Shi worry. And Rand, are you okay? As soon as they met, she sternly scolded him for being too high profile today. You little brat, what did you call me? Also, you need to be mindful of your reputation in the country. Going out so ostentatiously, what if you get blacklisted? Knowing he had made a mistake, Chelsea immediately apologized like a puppy. Sister and Rand, I was wrong. In the end, faced with that expression, she was helpless and had to let it go. All right, I'll let you off this time. Let's go, it's almost time to get off work. I'll treat you to dinner. Chelsea suddenly remembered something and held her back. Wait. Then he leaned in to hug Rand, recharging his depleted energy. Let me recharge for a bit. I was on a plane for over 40 hours. I'm exhausted. Just let me hug you for a little longer. He was being too intimate in the lobby, making her scold him in embarrassment. How old are you? Don't act like a child. Just then, a person with a murderous aura appeared, shouting loudly. Sheng Anran. Nanching had witnessed everything and immediately walked over with displeasure, demanding, Director Sheng, aren't you going to introduce us? As soon as she saw him, she pushed Xiao Shi away like a little squirrel. Mr. Liu. Then she happily introduced the two. This is my younger brother, Xiao Shi. Xiao Shi, this is Mr. Liu. Xiao Shi greeted him like a younger brother. Hello, Mr. Liu. Nanching became suspicious. Your brother? His surname is Xiao. Faced with this question, she didn't know how to explain and hesitated. The reason is a bit complicated. Meanwhile, Chelsea couldn't wait and urged Anran, hurry up and pack your things. Let's go pick up Jing after work. As he spoke, he pushed Anran to leave, but she didn't forget to politely bid farewell to Nanching. Mr. Liu, I'll be leaving first. While pushing her, Chelsea pleaded for help. Oh right, where do you live? I just got back to the country and have nowhere to stay. Can you take me in? These words confused Anran. Didn't your company book a hotel for you? He explained without hiding anything. I terminated my contract. Hearing that conversation made Nanching suspicious. What does he mean by take him in? Watching the two of them leave. From Lu Nanching's perspective, it was very intimate, making him jealous. He proposed, I'll give you a ride. But Anran didn't want to trouble him and refused. That's not very appropriate. Nanching insisted on giving him a ride. I happen to be going to pick up Jingshi, it's on the way. She didn't want to, but realized that Xiao Shi had been recognized just now. For safety, let's go through the parking lot. So she accepted with a smile. Then we'll have to trouble Mr. Liu. Then the two went to pick up the two children together. Seeing that Xiaoxi was not around, Nanxing asked curiously, "Where's your brother?" Xiaoxi was hiding in a nearby corner. "I'm here," and Ran replied awkwardly. It's not convenient for him. At the same time, he spoke up, trying to make her understand. As a public figure, it's even more inconvenient to live at your place. But Ran didn't seem to care much. "Don't worry, Mr. Liu. The community I live in is quite remote, or rather, not very conspicuous." At this moment, Xiao Jing ran over, pulling Jing Shi along, and shouted loudly, "Mommy, Uncle Liu." The little girl rushed over to hug her, causing Ran to lose her balance, which made Nanxing very worried. He reached out a hand to support her, but seeing that she didn't fall, he slowly retracted his hand. Xiao Jing excitedly proposed her plan for the day. "Mommy, we're going to Uncle Liu's house to play today, right?" But Ran blinked and mysteriously refused. "Not today, we have a guest today." This made Xiao Jing very curious. A guest? Meanwhile, Xiaoxi jumped out from the bushes and made a face at Xiao Jing. Jing, did you miss me?" As soon as she saw him, the little girl replied excitedly, "I did. I missed you so much." Xiaoxi picked up Xiao Jing and lifted her high, making her very happy. "I'm not leaving again this time. We haven't seen each other in so long." Then he held her and confirmed, "I'm not leaving again. Your mom has already agreed to let me live with you guys." Hearing this, the little girl's eyes lit up. The three of them were having a great time, which made the father and son duo over here look sad. "Jing Shi, it seems you can't play with Jing today because they have a more important guest." Seeing the two of them so sad, Xiao Jing came up with an idea and suggested to them both, "That's right, brother Jing Shi, why don't you and Uncle Liu come play at my house?" As soon as she heard this, Ran immediately refused. "No," but she was interrupted by Nansheng. "Okay, what is Director Sheng not welcoming us? I thought our relationship was quite good." Faced with this question, she denied it awkwardly. No. I welcome you. I couldn't be happier." At this time, Xiaoxi also asked in a low voice, "Sister Ran, isn't that Mr. Liu your boss? Is it okay for him to bring his child to a subordinate's house to play?" But before Ran could hesitate, Nansheng brazenly answered for her. "Based on my relationship with Director Sheng, I'm sure she won't mind. Besides, a national star terminating his contract and having nowhere to live. That seems even more inappropriate, doesn't it?" Faced with that sarcastic remark, Xiaoxi just replied calmly, "Sister Ran and I have a very good relationship." Meanwhile, some passersby noticed Xiaoxi and commented, "That person looks very familiar. He seems to be a star." Seeing that things couldn't get any more complicated, Ran quickly interjected, All right, everyone get in the car." Xiaoxi walked ahead holding Xiao Jing's hand, and the little girl asked, "Brother Xiaoxi, did you bring anything fun this time?" He replied patiently, "I brought the latest game console this time. I'll teach you how to play it in the car later." Nanxing saw Xiaoxi's childish behavior, looked at Ran, and said, "Your brother seems a bit immature." She looked worried and replied, Yeah, he just likes to talk nonsense." Suddenly, he said in a reassuring tone, seemingly implying something, "Boys usually mature later. At this age, they're not fully grown up yet." And Ran knew she had troubled him today and quickly apologized. "I've troubled you, Mr. Liu." But he didn't mind at all, instead advising, "We can be considered friends now. You don't need to mind these small things. Let's go back." At home, Xiaoxi opened the door and welcomed Nanxing and Jing Shi like a host. "Mr. Liu, Jing Shi, welcome to our home." Seeing Chelsea's overly natural behavior made him uncomfortable, and he confirmed again, "This is your sister's home." But Chelsea didn't care and argued, "I'm staying here tonight, so it's my home too." Meanwhile, Ran pushed him inside, "Don't talk so much." As soon as they entered, she instructed Xiao Jing, Jing, take everyone to sit in the living room. Mommy will go make tea." The little girl excitedly accepted the task. Mission guaranteed to be completed. While Ran was making tea for the guests, Xiao Jing was arranging the seating. "Uncle Liu, you sit here." Xiaoxi also sat down and pretended to ask Nansheng for help. And Ran just returned to the country not long ago, and I also heard that she joined Shengdong Group. She doesn't have many friends. Thank you, Mr. Liu, for taking care of her. But he flatly denied it. She relies on her own abilities. What is your relationship with her? I've never heard her mention she has a younger brother. Chelsea smiled brightly and explained their relationship. Really? I was picked up by Ran. I'm not her biological brother. Do you know the concept of childhood husband? No, we will definitely get married in the future. Although he heard it, Nansheng didn't take it to heart and found it ridiculous. How interesting. Hearing their relationship being sullied made Xiaoxi uncomfortable. I'm serious. Anyway, and Ran will be with me in the future. If you don't believe me, ask Jing. Immediately, both of them stared at Xiao Jing. Nanqing's heart was filled with competitive waves. That's not bad either, the kind raised from childhood. Xiao Jing stood between the two, stammering as she asked, "Ask me? If Brother Xiaoxi were my dad, that would be so cool. Of course, Mr. Liu is also great." In his heart, Chelsea secretly affirmed, this man definitely likes Anran, and is using the opportunity to get close to the child to get close to Anran. What a scheming man. Xiao Jing didn't want to be caught between the two anymore, so she took Jing Shi's hand and pulled him toward the house. "Brother Jing Shi, I'll show you my room. I have a Rubik's Cube that I haven't solved yet. Can you help me solve it?" At this moment, the little girl was embarrassed by her own scheming. "I'm sorry, Uncle Liu. Grandpa said to put some pressure on you." As soon as they entered the room, Xiao Jing cracked the door open to observe, which left Jing Xi a bit speechless. Seeing the boy didn't react, she turned around anxiously and asked, "Brother Jing Xi, what's wrong?" Just then, Jing Xi angrily wrote down a reproachful message on a piece of paper. "We agreed to become a family. How could you go back on your word?" Faced with the accusation, the little girl showed a cunning look and said jokingly, "Brother Jing Xi, even you were fooled." Then, Xiao Jing pointed outside and asked directly, "They haven't made any progress after all this time? Aren't you worried?" These words confused the boy. The little girl didn't beat around the bush and explained everything bluntly. "I said that on purpose. I had to give Uncle Liu a little push so he would seriously consider his relationship with my mom." This made Jing Xi very worried. Will this method work? Xiao Jing affirmed confidently, "Don't worry. Didn't you see how dark Uncle Liu's face was just now? He must have liked my mom for a long time." She said smugly, "I think Uncle Liu is about to make a move. Just you wait, Brother Jing Xi. We're about to become a family." Next, Xiao Jing told Jing Xi to keep quiet. Outside, Anran had broken something and was bending over to pick it up. "Let me. It's okay." But as she picked up a piece of glass, her hand got cut, making her cry out in pain, "Ouch!" Nanqing couldn't help but walk over, taking her hand with concern. "What did you get hurt? Let me see. Are there any bandages at home?" Not wanting to trouble him, she replied, "Yes, I can find them myself." Just then, Xiaoxi came out after packing his luggage to report, "Sister Anran, I've finished packing my luggage." He saw the two of them tangled together and couldn't help but ask curiously, "Oh, what are you two doing?" Seeing someone appear, Anran awkwardly and quickly pulled her hand back. "It's nothing." Nansheng also shyly turned his head away in denial. "It's nothing." Just then, Xiaoxi, without beating around the bush, said bluntly, "President Liu, you like Sister Anran, don't you?" Hearing this, Anran shouted, trying to stop him. Xiaoxi, but Nansheng put his arm out to stop her and questioned Xiaoxi directly. "In what capacity are you asking me this?" Being asked this, Xiaoxi hesitated, not knowing what capacity to claim. Nansheng pressed on, questioning Xiaoxi's previous identity. Sheng Anran's childhood sweetheart? Upon hearing the words, childhood sweetheart, Anran couldn't help but pinch Xiaoxi's cheek hard and scold. "Xiaoxi, have you been spouting nonsense to people again?" But Xiaoxi didn't think the title was unreasonable. "How is that nonsense?" Seeing Anran's reaction, Nansheng immediately sneered contemptuously. "It seems your sister doesn't acknowledge this identity." Faced with the provocation, Xiaoxi didn't know how to retort. Finally, not wanting to deal with Nansheng anymore, he rushed over and hugged Anran, whining like a child. "Sister, I'm hungry. What are we eating tonight?" Seeing how shameless Xiaoxi was, Nansheng was furious. Caught between these two men, Anran had a real headache. Two children. She immediately broke free and pushed Xiaoxi back into his room. "Go make your bed and sleep. You act like you're a starving ghost reincarnated." Xiaoxi was very obedient and did as she said, but still peeked his head out to watch the two of them. "I'll go right away." Nansheng stood to the side, and seeing Anran preparing to cook, he offered to help. "Let me help you." Xiaoxi also peeked his head out, volunteering, "I want to help sister too." But he was flatly rejected by Anran. "You, who can't tell grain from chaff, what help can you be? Don't come in and cause more trouble." Hearing this, Nansheng smiled smugly. Those words really hurt Xiaoxi's feelings. "You're treating me like a child again, but I really like you." Anran, who was washing vegetables, also refused Nansheng's help. "President Liu, please have a seat. You're a guest. There's no reason for you to help." But he insisted and found an excuse. "Your hand is injured. You shouldn't touch water. Let me help you wash the vegetables." She looked up and refused. "No, thank you." Nanchang ignored Anran's words and reached out his hand. Then, he muttered, bringing up the past. You were a guest at my house back then, but didn't you cook noodles for me? Hearing this, she immediately stopped and hesitated for a moment. Well, you could do it then. I'll go prepare something else. As she walked away, Anran felt a little suspicious. Is Lu Nanchang trying every possible way to get close to me today, or am I overthinking it? As she was walking, her slippers suddenly stepped on a puddle of water, and she started to fall. But luckily, Nanchang caught her and asked with concern, Are you okay? When Anran looked up to thank him, her heart was pounding. At the same time, Xiaoxi appeared. He slammed his fist on the wall and loudly demanded, What are you two doing again? Seeing her turn her face away in embarrassment, Nanchang shamelessly shifted the blame to Xiaoxi. You scared her. Xiaoxi didn't back down, rushing out to stand between them and reminding him, President Liu, I heard that you not only have a child, but also a fiancé. Don't you think you should keep your distance? When Anran heard those words, she quickly explained, I almost fell just now. President Liu just helped me up. Don't talk nonsense. Then she turned away sadly, muttering to herself, That's right, he has a fiancé. We should maintain the proper distance between a boss and a subordinate. Unable to stand there bickering any longer, Anran pushed them both out. You two go wait outside. Don't be in the way here. This time, Xiaoxi was certain of Nanchang's feelings for Anran. Before, when I asked if he liked Sister Anran, he changed the subject. Now his true colors are showing. He can't hide it from me. But unexpectedly, he shamelessly turned around and answered, So what if I do? Faced with Nanchang's undisguised affirmation, Xiaoxi was furious. What? He also grew impatient and provoked bluntly. I said, So what if I do? There's nothing you can do about it, little brother. As soon as he finished speaking, he turned and left. Meanwhile, two little heads peeked out, observing everything. Seeing that everything was going according to plan, Xiao Jing couldn't help but feel smug. Brother Jing CI, see? I told you, competition creates motivation. Although he knew that competition creates motivation, Jing CI was still worried that Nanchang would be defeated by Xiaoxi. But can Dad compete with this big brother? The little girl didn't hesitate, affirming confidently, That's where you're wrong. There are no sparks between Mom and Brother Xiaoxi. Uncle Liu will definitely win. She had barely finished speaking when Xiaoxi overheard everything and caught them red-handed. Ah, little Jing, I thought you were on my side, but it turns out you've long since defected to the enemy. Xiaoxi reached out, picked Xiao Jing up, and chided, You little traitor. I even brought you snacks. Now, they're all confiscated. When no one else was around, Nanchang sat in a chair, looked out the window, and asked himself, Do I like Sheng Anran? She's indeed very good. As soon as he thought of this, Nanchang glanced towards Xiaoxi's room and immediately felt a sense of discomfort. He's going to sleep here? Sheng Anran goes in and out of this place. Wouldn't she be able to see everything? Finally, he came up with a malicious idea to drive Xiaoxi out of the house. Note down this address. Send it to the reporters, I know. Just say this is Xiaoxi's new residence after returning to the country. After the food was served, the five of them ate until their plates were clean. After the meal, Xiao Jing didn't forget to sweetly praise her mother. I'm so full. Mom's cooking is delicious. Receiving her daughter's praise, Anran was truly happy and felt more motivated. Yes, our Jing is such a good supporter. Let Mom go clean up. But before she could move, Xiaoxi immediately volunteered to clean up. Sister Anran, don't move. I'll do the dishes. She didn't refuse and agreed. Okay, Xiaoxi is really grown up. Upon getting Anran's approval, Xiaoxi shot a smug glance at Nanchang. Humph. Then he walked away with his chin up. Meanwhile, Jing CI anxiously urged Nanchang, Dad, hurry up and go. Unexpectedly, he just calmly requested, Don't rush. Xiaoxi whistled, washing the dishes in a cheerful mood. Then he suddenly realized something was wrong. By washing the dishes for no reason, aren't I just creating an opportunity for them to be alone? When he turned around, he saw the four of them playing Chinese checkers together. It was Anran's turn to lose, and Xiao Jing was delighted. Mom lost. It's your turn to get a note stuck on you. Nanchang quickly seized the opportunity to stick the note on Anran's face. I'll stick it on for you. From Xiaoxi's perspective, the two of them looked very happy, which Xiaoxi couldn't stand. He immediately jumped out and demanded, Stick it on my face. I'll take the punishment for Anran. But seeing Xiaoxi, Nanxing instantly lost interest and turned away. Forget it. Seeing that it was getting late and Nancheng was still there, Xiaoxi immediately reminded him, President Liu, it's getting late. When are you taking your son home? He was shameless, having no concept of asking for permission, and made the decision directly. I'm not going home today. Hearing this, Xiao Jing was overjoyed. Really? That's great. But Xiaoxi strongly objected. What? Absolutely not. Nanxing quickly used Jing Si as an excuse to stay the night. Before we came, Jing Si told me that Jingjing stayed at her house for a few days, so now he wants to sleep at Jingjing's house too. Faced with this reason, Xiaoxi excitedly tried to drive him away. Then let the little one stay, and you, President Liu, can go home alone. But for some reason, he skillfully picked up his son, putting on a show of deep father-son affection. Jing Si has never been away from me. He wouldn't be used to it. Xiaoxi was speechless and turned to Anran as if. Anran didn't refuse and even made arrangements. There's no guest room, and it's not convenient for President Liu to sleep in my friend's room. How about this? I'll sleep in her room, and President Liu can sleep in my room. Receiving such unfair treatment, Xiaoxi couldn't accept it. I sleep in the living room, and he sleeps in your room? Anran, this is blatant favoritism. Anran ignored him and concluded bluntly. All right, stop making a fuss. It's settled. Faced with this decision that favored him, Nancheng was smug. Despite the unfair treatment, Xiaoxi remained very vigilant. I'll be watching you. The next morning, Xiao Jing saw Nancheng and greeted him with a big laugh. Hee, good morning, Uncle Liu. Then she kept praising Anran. Uncle Liu, my mom is outstanding. The line of people pursuing my mom stretches from here all the way to America. You know that now, right? The more he listened, the more confused he got. He just said, oh, and asked so. The little girl didn't hide anything and reminded him bluntly, so you have to work hard. Otherwise, if you marry that tall auntie in the future, Jing Si won't like it, and you won't be able to have a cute daughter like me. The more Nanxing listened, the happier he became, and he secretly resolved, I have to work hard to have a cute daughter like you. Hearing this, the little girl proudly puffed out her chest. A moment later, Nancheng came over with his phone and announced some bad news. Jingjing, it looks like you're about to be separated from brother Xiaoxi. These suggestive words stunned Xiao Jing. Just then, Xiaoxi had already packed his bags and was ready to leave because he had been discovered by reporters. Sister Anran, I didn't expect my location to be exposed so quickly. I'll go downstairs first to lead them away. You should hide with Jingjing. Anran listened and replied, okay, be careful. Seeing Xiao Jing also run out to check, Xiaoxi felt guilty and apologized. I'm sorry, Jingjing. I have to go. I'll play with you next time. Watching Xiaoxi leave in a hurry, the little girl was very sad and asked Anran, Mom, why did brother Xiaoxi leave? She suddenly spoke up. It's not just brother Xiaoxi who has to leave. As mother and daughter looked down at the crowd of reporters below, they decided, it seems we can't live here for the time being. The current situation was that Xiaoxi's contract termination with his company had caused a huge stir, and reporters have been waiting outside since early morning. Fans and reporters were all holding up phones, cameras, and camcorders to film. I wonder if it's trending yet. Let's wait and see. Xiaoxi's really here. While worrying, Xiao Jing cleverly realized everything. It was Uncle Liu. He called the reporters to separate Mom and brother Xiaoxi. Seeing the little girl looking at him, Nancheng raised his hand, signaling her to be quiet. Xiao Jing's eyes filled with worry, and she asked Anran, Mom, are we going to have to move? This matter was indeed giving her a headache. I don't know where to move yet. Mom has to go to work and hasn't had time to look at houses recently. Just as the mother and daughter were wondering where to find a place to hide from this turmoil, Nancheng spoke up and suggested, why don't you come to my place? But faced with this suggestion, she felt it was inappropriate. That's not very appropriate. Before she could finish her refusal, he listed all the benefits of living at his place. What's not appropriate about it? The security is good. Jingjing and Jing Si go to the same kindergarten, and we'll have someone to pick them up and drop them off, and it's also close to the group's headquarters. Jing Si then grabbed his father's leg, looking at the two of them, and Rand denied, no, that's not the issue. But he ignored her, picked up Jing Si and suggested, I won't let you stay for free. You can help make 2 meals on weekdays and be in charge of 3 meals on weekends. Jing Si only likes to eat the food you make. She still wanted to refuse, but Xiao Jing seized the opportunity to plead. Say yes, Mom. Finally, between her daughter's pitiful pleas and the current situation, she softened and accepted. All right. Hearing and Ran agree, both children got excited. Yay! Nansheng was a man of action and immediately contacted a moving company. I'll call the moving company. We can't delay this any longer. The sooner the better. The next day, the mother and daughter had already moved into Nansheng's villa. While moving things, she instructed Xiao Jing, Jing, we'll be living here for a while. You and Jing Si have to get along well. Hearing this instruction, Nansheng didn't hesitate to pat the little girl's head and say with certainty, little Jing is doing great. Jing Si likes her very much. Seeing she was safe, she thought of Xiao Shi. I wonder how things are on Xiao Shi's end. Did the reporters give him a hard time? But Nansheng answered confidently, don't worry, I've already sent an assistant to pick him up at a hotel under the group. It should be fine. As soon as he finished speaking, a call came in. See, there's a call. The moment he put it on speaker, Xiao Shi on the other end sounded like he wanted to jump through the screen and curse him out. You old fox, you used my situation to trick and ran into living at your house, and you deliberately arranged for me to stay in a hotel so far away. Are you deliberately trying to? Before Xiao Shi could finish, he hung up the phone directly. Then he smiled amicably and said with false sincerity, Xiao Shi said the hotel is very nice, and he's very satisfied. Faced with this statement, Anran smiled a little awkwardly, feeling that something was off. It feels a bit off, but he's the boss, so what he says goes. Just then, someone sent a message. Report on Xiao Shi's contract signing. General Manager, I have proposed to Xiao Shi to sign with Yang Xin as per your instructions, but he ultimately chose Guangxian. He is unaware that you are a shareholder of Guangxian. Seeing that Xiao Shi was already in the palm of his hand, Nansheng smiled smugly. Let's go. I'll show you to the guest room. There was also a grand piano in the house. At this time in the kitchen, after Anran finished cooking, she saw that Nansheng was already up and said, President Liu, breakfast is ready. Come and eat. I don't know your taste, so I just made a few simple dishes. Opening his eyes to see a beautiful woman in the house also dazzled him, and he recalled her being in his home. I almost forgot. She's temporarily staying at my place. Seeing it was still early, Anran looked up and suggested, the children aren't up yet. Let's eat first, and we can leave some for the kids to eat on the way to school. Nansheng also obediently sat down. You made so much. But she didn't think it was much at all. It's not much, mainly to thank President Liu for taking care of my daughter and me. He quickly denied it, attributing everything to Jing Si. I've said it before, it's all for Jing Si. Don't mind it. At that moment, the housekeeper saw the two of them cooking themselves and ran over to help. Young master, Miss Sheng, let me help you. But unexpectedly, she clumsily bumped into Nansheng, spilling food all over him. It looked like he was badly burned, and Anran worriedly kept asking, are you okay? Where did you get hurt? The housekeeper, knowing she had just made a big mistake, was terrified and apologized repeatedly. Young master, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Nansheng was not a petty person and just let the housekeeper go. It's fine. I'll go upstairs to change and come back down. Knowing the housekeeper felt very guilty, Anran smiled and suggested, could you help me get a tube of burn ointment? The housekeeper was happy to help. Of course, I'll go right away. After the housekeeper left to get the medicine, Anran looked worriedly in the direction Nansheng had gone. A moment later, she arrived at his room. This should be the room. Just as Nansheng was taking off his shirt, Anran arrived with the burn ointment. President Liu, I brought you the burn ointment. For some reason, she happened to catch Nansheng in a shirtless state. Why are you here? Knowing she had just seen something she shouldn't have, Anran covered her eyes. I'm sorry, I didn't see anything. He didn't care about such trivial things and let her in. What's the big deal if you saw? Come in. When she saw the wound on Nansheng's shoulder, she just froze for a moment. He didn't say much and asked Anran to help him apply the medicine. Aren't you going to help me apply the medicine? Being asked this, she hesitated. You should apply it yourself. It's not very convenient for me to help with that spot. Faced with this request, Anran could only help. At first, she wanted him to put on his shirt. You should put your shirt on first. Unexpectedly, to lure Anran, Nansheng shamelessly showed off his physique. How can I apply the medicine with my shirt on? Hearing these words, she felt like he was sick in the head. The boss has a fever. Can someone help? It's urgent. In the end, Anran had no choice but to endure and help him apply the medicine. Just barely touching the wound, she was very focused, trying her best to avoid hurting him. After a while, she finished applying the medicine. All right, President Liu, the medicine is on. As soon as she stood up, her legs had gone numb. This made her unsteady, and she fell onto Nan Sheng. He looked at her with concern. Are you okay? But in Anran's mind, there was only the overly intimate contact between them. Too close. In the extremely ambiguous atmosphere, Nan Sheng couldn't help but kiss Anran. He even gently bit her lip, which she couldn't stand, and she pushed him away. Lu Nan Sheng, are you crazy? In a panic, she slapped Nan Sheng, then shot up and decided to move out that day. We'll move out today, so as not to disturb President Liu. Knowing he was in the wrong, he apologized with some dejection. I'm sorry. You don't have to move. I was going on a business trip anyway, leaving today. I might be gone for a long time. Faced with this request, Anran would consider it. Then she turned and left. As she walked, bits and pieces of their relationship kept urging her to draw a clear line. Why didn't I push him away immediately? Clearly, a person it's impossible to be with. Over here, Nan Sheng also covered his face in frustration and made a resolution. I can't go on like this. The next day, at the hotel, a guest was giving the front desk a hard time for some reason. I don't care. Your hotel must give me an explanation today. Just then, Anran arrived. The front desk staff was overjoyed to see her, as if grabbing a lifeline. Director Sheng, please come and take a look. I really don't know what to do. The guest crossed her arms, looking displeased and doubting Anran's ability. Who are you? Can you handle this? To this question, she smiled politely and introduced herself. I am the director of the Shengtang Hotel. It's my pleasure to assist you. The guest didn't care much for pleasantries and got straight to the point. Fine, I'll tell you. There was a cockroach in the room, although I killed it. Your hotel claims to be top tier in the country, but you can't even meet basic hygiene standards. This is consumer fraud. Faced with the criticism, Anran replied calmly, defending the hotel's position. Ma'am, our hotel is cleaned after every guest checks out to ensure we meet our standards. The guest grew more irritated. You say you meet the standards. So what about the cockroach I saw? Did I bring it in myself? Faced with this incident, Anran seemed to understand that everything was purposeful. This was clearly someone deliberately looking for trouble, and during the hotel's festive and wedding season, no mistakes could be afforded. In the end, facing the guest's accusations, she had no choice but to offer the best solution. Ms. He, we sincerely apologize for this unpleasant experience. As compensation, I can upgrade your room and waive all your accommodation fees. Even with such compensation, the guests still seemed dissatisfied. This is not enough. Do you know how precious my time is? It's worth at least 100,000. Faced with the guest's unreasonable demand, Anran, with a smile that didn't reach her eyes, escalated the matter. I can't authorize such a large amount myself. Please wait in your new room for a moment. I will report to the general manager immediately and ask for his instructions. In the end, the difficult guest agreed. This is barely acceptable. The front desk receptionist, who had heard the entire conversation and knew Anran's decision, anxiously reminded her, Director Sheng, management will definitely not approve this amount. Besides, that person is obviously trying to blackmail us. Why are you still helping her request compensation? But Anran didn't seem to care and instead told the receptionist, don't worry, I have a way to handle it. On the other side, Yu Nanxing couldn't concentrate on his work, his mind constantly replaying the kiss with Anran and her reaction afterward, leaving him lost in thought. Just then, there was a knock on the door. Yu Nanxing said, come in. As soon as the secretary entered, he immediately reported on the abnormal negative reviews the hotel had received. General Manager, the hotel has recently received a large number of abnormal negative reviews. It seems there's an organization maliciously manipulating them from behind. Someone also came to cause trouble today, falsely accusing us of hygiene issues. It looks like it was prearranged. Hearing this, he asked who handled it. The secretary quickly replied, it was Director Sheng. Does she need remote assistance from headquarters? Yu Nanxing immediately rejected the offer. No need. If she can't even handle this, she won't win the bet. He was now very much looking forward to Anran's performance. Let me see how you plan to handle this. The next day, after staying one night, the guest came to make trouble again. Check out, check out. The thought of yesterday's cockroaches disgusts me. I want to change hotels. Anran didn't want to keep such a guest either, so she calmly agreed. All right, Your deposit has been refunded. It was a pleasure serving you. Hearing that the solution was only a refund of the room fee and not the 100,000 she had demanded yesterday, the guest flew into a rage. Wait a minute. That's it? Such a major hygiene incident, and you're just letting it go like this? What about the 100,000 in compensation you promised? Are you a big hotel bullying customers? Have you no shame? Guests passing through the lobby heard the commotion at the front desk, started gossiping, and even posted it online. It seems there really is a hygiene problem. Could the negative news about the Sheng Hotel online these past few days be true? This is juicy. Let's start a live stream. Anran, unafraid, took out 2 dead cockroaches from the guest room and answered directly. Ms. He, these are the dead cockroaches found in your room. They've been inspected by the quarantine department, and their time of death was 5 days ago. So, I'd like you to confirm again. Are these the 2 cockroaches you killed yesterday? Seeing the 2 dead cockroaches in Anran's hand, the guest collapsed in the lobby, screaming, "Take them away, disgusting." The tables seemed to have turned. The other guests sided with the hotel, accusing the troublemaking guest. The cockroaches have been dead for 5 days, and she claims she killed them yesterday. Is she a spirit medium? She seems to be an internet celebrity. I saw her on Douyin yesterday. So scared of cockroaches, yet she claims she killed them herself. She'd do anything for money, even lose her mind. In this situation, Anran showed no discomfort and instead kindly went to help the guest up. Ms. He, please get up. The floor is cold. Be careful not to catch a chill. She added with a smile. Oh, and don't forget to delete the negative review. Watching the guest flee in disgrace, Anran smiled and said goodbye. Have a pleasant day. Watching her subdue such a cunning and difficult guest, the front desk receptionist was amazed. Director Sheng, you're incredible. Hearing the receptionist praise, Anran quickly instructed her, stop the flattery and get back to work. You're still short on your sales target, aren't you? Then she turned around and saw a man who looked very much like her father. Is that person Dad? In a small corner of a coffee shop, Anran clutched her coffee cup tightly and asked her father, Dad, what did you want to see me about? Her father asked gently, You've been back in the country for a while. When are you bringing Xingchen home for a meal? I want to see my granddaughter. But Anran, afraid that Xingchen would be wronged in that house, quickly refused. Not yet, Dad. She's still young. It's not good for her to hear too much gossip. When she's a little older, I'll bring her see you. In the end, he relented. All right. I heard you've been staying at someone else's house these days. Anran replied, yes. Suddenly, her father gave her the keys to an apartment. He spoke with loving words. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I just want you to know that if things don't go well for you out there, you still have me as your backup. I'll always be your support. Receiving his help, Anran was truly grateful. Thank you, Dad. She secretly decided in her heart, great, when Yu Nansheng is on his business trip, I'll take Xingchen and leave. Having heard from somewhere that she was living with a man. Oh, right. I heard you're living with a man? Are you too? Faced with this question, Anran quickly denied the relationship he was implying. Dad, Yu Nansheng is already engaged. There's nothing between us. After the father and daughter chatted for a while, Anran's father got into a waiting car, feeling angry. Doesn't Yu Nansheng know that Sheng Anran is my daughter? He's engaged and still dares to live with Anran. He really deserves a beating. As soon as the words left his mouth, he suddenly began to cough violently. Cough, 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 even coughing up blood. Seeing this, the driver couldn't help but worry. Mr. Sheng, should we go to the hospital? But he refused to go. Wanted to see Yu Nansheng first to clear things up. No, help me make an appointment with Yu Nansheng. I want to talk to him privately. That same evening, at the hotel where Yu Nansheng was staying for his business trip, after handling all his business matters, he couldn't stop thinking about Anran. It's finally done. I'll take the earliest flight back tomorrow. Being so far away, I wonder if she's still home. Maybe I should. At the same time, the secretary brought a report on the surrogacy case from 5 years ago. Mr. Yu, I've found Uncle Lao, who was in charge of the surrogacy 5 years ago. He took the report and pressed for Uncle Lao's whereabouts. Where is he? The secretary immediately informed him. The document in your hand is his autopsy report. He died in a house fire, and the fire destroyed everything. Only a skeleton was left. Hearing about the case, Yu Nansheng seemed to sense that something was wrong. There's something fishy about this. Go to the fire scene and carefully investigate the events before and after the fire. Upon receiving his request, the secretary immediately took action. You suspect it was murder? I'll go investigate it thoroughly right away. After giving the instructions, the secretary hadn't left yet, as there was something else to report. Mr. Yu, there's one more thing. The secretary, with a worried expression, brought up the evaluation of the bet. The betting agreement between you and Miss Sheng is about to expire. You instructed me to monitor her performance. Miss Sheng's performance had already met the target, but the sudden wave of negative reviews has dragged down her results. If this continues, she will lose. Yu Nanchang didn't pay much mind and asked, does she have any remedial plan? Not yet. At that moment, Anran called. Seeing her call, Yu Nanchang seemed to understand. Sheng Anran's plan, isn't it right here? She was surprised he answered so quickly. You're not asleep yet? Before she could finish her question, he teased back, calling me so late just to see if I was asleep. The next day, the hotel's event was held as scheduled, and customers flocked in, so much so that the front desk receptionist couldn't keep up. Please wait a moment. I'll check the information for you right away. There's still an hour until the lucky draw. On the other side, Anran watched the growth chart through the front desk's observation. Using celebrity effect to turn the closing event into a lucky draw is indeed an excellent strategy. Luckily, Yu Nanchang approved this change. Otherwise, the bet would have been a failure. Seeing the data unfold as expected, Anran couldn't help but feel proud. When he comes back and sees this data, he will definitely be very satisfied. This is the principle that those who trust me will prosper. Just then, an employee ran over to inform her, Director Sheng, the lucky draw will start in an hour. Please go down to host the event. Hearing this, she replied happily, I'll be right there. Standing before this lucky draw event, it had indeed attracted a large number of customers to the hotel. Anran changed into an extremely beautiful gown, walked to the lobby, and received endless compliment from the customers. Are all the executives at Shengtang Hotel so young and beautiful now? So impressive. Shengtang Hotel has really found a treasure, and her abilities are also very strong. The entire event was planned by her. As the host of the event, she went on stage to speak. Thank you all for coming to the anniversary celebration. I am Sheng Anran, the director of Shengtang. I hope that in the future, Shengtang can have more cooperation opportunities with all the merchants, clients, and friends present. Next, Anran also established connections with many wealthy clients. Thank you for coming, Mr. Liu. I hope we can cooperate often in the future. Outside the company lobby, a car pulled up. The car window rolled down, revealing the person sitting inside, Yu Nanchang. The secretary observed that Anran had completed the bet. Mr. Yu, Director Sheng's performance has met the target. We can start processing the paperwork for her to take office. This is also thanks to you having the finance department add an additional 20% to the budget otherwise. Before the secretary could finish rambling, Yu Nanchang coldly criticized him. You're talking too much today. Suddenly, the secretary remembered something. Mr. Yu, the chairman of Shengshi Group, Sheng Jingshan, has requested a business meeting with you. Are you going? Yu Nanchang chose to go without hesitation. He couldn't help but ponder this meeting. Sheng Anran's father, Sheng Jingshan, choosing to see me at this time, he definitely doesn't have good intentions. As soon as the two met, Sheng Jingshan frankly stated that he didn't want to drag out the conversation. Mr. Yu, my health has been poor in recent years, so it's not convenient for me to sit for long. You have an event to attend tonight, so I'll get straight to the point. He agreed and asked Sheng Jingshan to speak first. Please, Chairman Sheng. He immediately got to the point, talking about Anran's situation. Anran lost her mother when she was born and didn't grow up by my side. I owe her a lot. Before she went abroad, I thought that no matter who she wanted to marry, as long as that person was good to her, I had no other requirements. These words made Yu Nanchang frown, a doubt rising in his heart. What did your daughter tell you? But Sheng Jingshan understood without Anran having to say anything, and even feigned ignorance. Aren't you and Anran living together? My Shengshi Group is a large enterprise, and your Yu family is not unknown. Yu Nanchang, do I need to be more explicit? He was quite shocked by these words. Did Sheng Anran tell her family that we are getting married? If that's the case, seeing him remain silent, Sheng Jingshan impatiently raised his voice. Yu Nanchang. Faced with this situation, Yu Nanchang silently clenched his fists. Then he shamelessly admitted to the non-existent relationship with Anran. Father-in-law is right to lecture me. It was my oversight. Seeing him change his attitude so quickly was truly an eye-opener for Sheng Jingshan. This kid changes his tunes so fast. In the end, he did not object to the relationship, only hoping that Yu Nanchang would hold a formal wedding. Nanchang, I know you young people don't care much for formalities, but please be considerate of an old man like me. The necessary ceremonies must still be held. He understood what he was worried about, fearing his daughter would be wronged. So Yu Nanchang quickly promised, I will absolutely not let Anran be wronged. This firm affirmation made Sheng Jingshan both happy and hopeful. Once you two are married, I will hand over the company to you. I have great confidence in both your abilities and Anran. Suddenly he remembered, oh right, I have a favor to ask. The 15th of next month is Anran's birthday, and also the anniversary of her mother's death. If you have time, please spend more time with her. Receiving his kind reminder, Yu Nanxing bowed gratefully. Rest assured, father-in-law, I will take good care of her. Then he returned to the company, looking down at the ongoing event. Now we will draw the grand prize. As soon as the words were spoken, Xiaoxi happily raised his sign. The number I drew is 28. Seeing Xiaoxi's appearance made Yu Nanxing suspicious. Xiaoxi? Could he be the mysterious client? Below, Xiaoxi was cheering while holding Xingchen's hand. Seeing Xingchen down there stirred an indescribable jealousy in Yu Nanxing. Xingchen won the prize, so Sheng Anran will have to go with them. At the same time, Jingshi sent a message, warning Yu Nanxing that he would lose his wife if he didn't come back soon. If you don't come back, Annie Chung and little Jingsheng will run off with someone else. Faced with this potential crisis, Yu Nanxing was worried. As for Anran, she was leaning on the balcony, enjoying everything. It's been a long time since I've been this relaxed. Looking down, she saw the staff bringing in photography equipment. She saw Xingchen and Xiaoxi playing happily, which made her smile sweetly. It was a wise decision to let Xiaoxi take Jingshi to play. The siblings are getting along so well. In the end, not knowing what else to do, Anran returned to her room, wanted to take a nap, which would be beauty sleep time. As soon as she lay on the bed, she couldn't help but exclaim, "Ah, this luxury hotel is so comfortable." But what Anran didn't expect was that she was being watched. Meanwhile, in the hotel lobby, Yu Nanxing was holding Jingshi, extremely anxious. The little boy stubbornly gestured, "If I don't see Auntie, I'm not going home. And you can't go home either, Dad." Not knowing how to explain to his son, he used Anran's health as an excuse. She flew for over 10 hours. Let her get some sleep. Yu Nanxing placed Jingshi on the table and promised, "Dad promises you. We'll go find her tomorrow. For now, let's eat." With his firm promise, the little boy immediately and obediently started eating his bread. Okay. The next day, on the beach, Anran was there, enjoying herself to the fullest. Suddenly, Jingshi rushed over and hugged her unexpectedly. Much to Anran's surprise, "Jingshi, what are you doing here?" Before she could hear the little boy's answer, Yu Nanxing appeared. "I brought him." Then he proposed, "Want to go island hopping with us?" Anran refused without hesitation. "I think I'll pass." But Jingshi unexpectedly attacked Anran's heart with his puppy dog eyes. "I want Annie to go with me." Faced with such a look, Anran had to give in. "It's too dazzling. Let's go. Let's all go together." As soon as she got on the boat, she deeply regretted it. "I will never be soft-hearted again. I think I'm getting seasick." She seemed unable to take it anymore and wanted to vomit. Somehow, Yu Nanxing misunderstood Anran's reaction, held her, and advised, "If you feel cold, you should say so. Don't force yourself. It's easy to get sick." His advice seemed to strike a chord with her. "Thank you." His embrace carried a familiar warmth, so reassuring. Seeing the two in close contact made Jingshi very happy. Suddenly, a wave came, heading straight for Anran. Yu Nanxing anxiously rushed forward. "Be careful." He shielded her with his body without hesitation. Seeing the trio's slightly exaggerated reaction, the boatman laughed and reassured them. "A few waves are normal. Don't be scared." Although she was shielded, Anran still got wet, becoming uncomfortable and nervous. Knowing she was uncomfortable, Yu Nanxing immediately ordered, "Turn around now." Meanwhile, she was dizzy from the boat's rocking and started talking nonsense. "Grandpa, I don't want to go back to that home." Noticing her unhappy mood, he pulled her into his arms to comfort her and ran. Jingshi, in his arms, was also infected by the anxiety. Yu Nanxing, like the pillar of the family, held them both tightly, protecting them. "Don't be afraid. I'm here. I'll take good care of you." Anran seemed to be trapped in the regrets of her past. "Grandpa, I don't want to go." Before her grandfather passed away, he left some comforting, heartfelt words. Ran. After you go home, be obedient, but you don't always have to watch others' expressions. If you have any grievances, tell your father. He will stand up for you. Even so, she insisted on not wanting to return to that home. "I don't want to go back, Grandpa. Don't you want me anymore? I'll try to be a good girl. I beg you, don't abandon me." After his death, a woman cursed and threw her out. This jinx, she killed her own mother at birth, and now before she's even grown up, she's killed her own grandfather. Get her away from me. Just looking at her is annoying. Though reluctant, Anran was forcibly dragged away by two bodyguards. "I'm not leaving, Grandpa, Grandpa." Her grandfather didn't want to leave his granddaughter either, struggling and shouting, Ran. But he only saw the woman insisting on throwing her out. Sheng Anran must get out of here today. No one is allowed to keep her. In the end, her grandfather lay down, but his last concern was still Ran. Just like that, her grandfather passed away, leaving the woman in a panic. "Dad, doctor, emergency, emergency. The patient has stopped breathing. Family, please accept our condolences." Immersed in her nightmare, she finally woke up with a start. "Grandpa!" Outside the window, the sun was gradually setting. Seeing Anran awake, Yu Nansheng immediately approached with concern. "You're awake? How are you feeling?" He reached out to check her temperature, relieved that her fever had broken. "Thank goodness, the fever is gone." Receiving this care, Anran called out in a daze, "Yu Nansheng." Before she could fully recover, Yu Nansheng spoke reproachfully. "You knew you get seasick, yet you insisted on going out to sea. Even if Jingshi asked, you have to take care of your own body first." Noticing the concern in Yu Nansheng's words, Anran asked in surprise, "Yu Nansheng, are you worried about me?" Asked this, he actually paused, then softly admitted, "Yes." Anran didn't seem to hear clearly. She moved closer and asked, "What did you say?" "I didn't hear you clearly." Looking at her face up close, his heart suddenly started to pound. Then, unable to hold back any longer, he kissed her and confessed, "Anran, I like you." Faced with this sudden kiss and confession, she still maintained her reason and pushed him away. She flatly rejected everything. "You're already engaged. I don't want to be the third party." Faced with these words, Yu Nansheng firmly grabbed Anran's hand and said with certainty, "No, you are not the third party. You are my one and only." But she still didn't quite believe him, questioning his relationship with Yaowen. "Aren't you with Gao Yaowen?" Yu Nansheng clarified everything without hesitation. "I've already called off the engagement." Faced with the words "called off the engagement," Anran couldn't comprehend. He no longer hid anything and explained everything in detail. "The engagement was just for Jingshi's sake, but now that I have someone I truly love, this nominal engagement is no longer necessary." Yu Nansheng moved closer, pleading, "Anran, give me a chance to pursue you, okay?" Being pursued so suddenly made Anran shy. Just as she was about to agree, the phone rang, interrupting them both. "The jewelry store? Could it be that the matter I asked them to investigate has results?" Anran hesitated, wanting him to move aside. I have an important call. Let me take it first." Watching her leave, Yu Nansheng said earnestly and patiently, "Then go take it. I'll wait for you here for your answer." As soon as she stepped onto the balcony to answer the phone, a clear voice came from the other end. "Hello, is this Miss Sheng? I'm the manager of the Chuanqing jewelry store on Jinling East Road. Regarding the emerald necklace you asked us to investigate, I have found the owner." As soon as Anran heard there was news, she couldn't help but curse in her heart. That bastard. She recalled the man wearing the jade necklace that night. When the two were fighting, she had even reached out and touched the necklace. Then the voice on the phone continued to provide information. 8 years ago, a Mr. Yu commissioned us to create that necklace at our store. These words stunned Anran, but she still wanted to confirm. "Mr. Yu? Which Mr. Yu?" The other party was supposed to clarify the identity. The president of Shengting Group, Yu Nansheng. This news truly made her heart sink to the bottom. She couldn't hold her phone steady, and it fell to the ground. Then she turned to look in disbelief at Yu Nansheng, who was waiting for her inside. That person, it was him, Yu Nansheng. This news was too much for her to bear. The man who changed my entire life. The man who snatched my child away. Why was it you, Yu Nansheng? Why was it you? Anran leaned against the wall in agony. After calming down, she went to the room to find Yu Nansheng. Seeing her pale face, he asked with concern, "Why is your face so pale? What happened?" Anran walked forward and asked about Jingshi's mother's identity. "Yu Nansheng, can you tell me who Jingshi's mother is?" Being asked this, Nansheng was bewildered. Then, he thought of that woman's death certificate and felt a pang in his heart. A death certificate, cause of death still unknown. Everything is still a mystery. If I rashly tell Anran about this, will I drag her into this too? Will it put her in danger? Seeing that he said nothing, Anran was truly disappointed. "Yu Nansheng, you said you liked me, yet you're hiding such a huge matter from me." She didn't want to look at him anymore and wanted to go back to sleep. "I'm tired, I'm going to bed." Nansheng didn't understand her mood and even offered, "Let me take care of you." She suddenly drew a line between them. "Thank you, Mr. Yun, but there's no need. Seeing her so emotionally volatile, Nansheng didn't know what to do at that moment. A heavy downpour outside mirrored her mood. Jingshi was eating with him, anxiously looking around, searching for Anran's figure. Xiaoxi knew who he was looking for, so he brought his food over and sat with him, then announced their departure. Looking for Jingjing, her mother, and she went home last night. Upon hearing this, Nansheng was stunned. Went home? Why in such a hurry? Jingshi couldn't wait either and wanted to leave quickly. To the airport. Let's go home, Dad. Xiaoxi knew the father and son's intention, so he pointed at the rain outside and earnestly advised, "Don't blame me for not reminding you, but due to the storm, all flights off the island have been canceled. It's useless even if you go to the airport." Knowing they couldn't go back for now, Jingshi was very sad, but thankfully Nansheng comforted him. Just then his phone rang. As soon as he answered, the butler on the other end told him about Anran's situation. "Young master, Miss Shang went back to pack her things this morning, saying she has found a new place to live." Hearing this sudden news, he couldn't comprehend anything. Did she say anything when she left? The butler quickly said she left 30,000 yuan, saying it was rent for the past period. Faced with this, and Anran drawing a clear line, Nansheng truly felt heartbroken. So, this is her answer? Seeing the look on his face. After the call ended, Jingshi was also very worried, constantly tugging at his father's clothes. Nansheng's mood turned very gloomy, and he bluntly said directly to Jingshi, "Didn't you hear? She's gone. It's no use pulling on me." Faced with this, the boy couldn't help but purse his lips and then burst into tears. Hearing his son's cries, he was taken aback for a moment and hurriedly coaxed him. "I'm sorry, Jingshi, it's Dad's fault. We'll go home when the rain stops. Dad will fix it." 3 days later, at Shujing's house, Anran exhaustedly left Xiao Jing's room. After the girl fell asleep, she finally finished cleaning up the mess of the past 3 days. Shujing was confused to see Anran staying over. "Tell me, why did you suddenly want to live at my place? Didn't your dad give you a villa?" Anran explained with a headache. "The house my dad gave me is occupied by a boy toy kept by Sheng Anran. I can't move in for now." After hearing this, Shujing couldn't help but curse. That woman is really something, currying favor with someone else's property. So useless. What about besides that house? Didn't your mom also leave you a house? Anran also said that house is now occupied by... Hearing this, Shujing was truly speechless. "Huh, your relatives are so unreliable." Even so, Shujing was a very generous person and joked, "Don't worry, your big sister here is capable. I'll support you." Hearing these words, Anran was very touched, but she was still determined to get back what was hers. Thank you. But Sheng Anran is using my house to keep a boy toy. Does she really think I'm a pushover? I will definitely get it back this time." Seeing her so concerned about the house, Shujing was really worried. "I've never seen you so anxious about a house. What's wrong?" Anran replied sadly, "I'm afraid that if we go to court in the future, the court will think I'm not qualified to raise my child if I don't have a house." Upon hearing this, Shujing couldn't help but exclaim, "Huh? Who are you suing for custody? Who would dare to fight you for Jingjing?" Anran didn't hide it from her friend and said the name of the child's father, Yun Nansheng. Shujing finally understood. She had investigated the man from 5 years ago. The man from a few years ago was him. "So, Yun Jingshi is your son?" Anran sadly confirmed. Shujing, on the contrary, wasn't worried at all and even optimistically teased Anran, "Oh my God, you've got the script of a wealthy tycoon's wife. Did you know? Yun Nansheng is also known for doting on his son. What are you hesitating for? Hurry up and reconcile. A meteoric rise is right in front of you." But Anran was very firm. The relationship between them could never be harmonious. "Shujing, stop joking. It's impossible between me and Yun Nansheng. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't have given birth to 2 children, nor would I have had to run abroad to keep Jingjing, forcing her to drop out of school just to have a child." Yun Nansheng casually changed a girl's entire life. A man like that is too terrifying, and those menacing bodyguards also frightened Anran. Shujing knew her friend was heartbroken over this and directly asked about work. "In that case, are you still planning to go to work tomorrow? Do you really want to work under Yun Nansheng?" Anran confirmed without hesitation, "Yes. Because it might be a lawsuit in the future, I need a job and money." At the same time, Nansheng called and suggested meeting tomorrow. "Anran, you start work tomorrow. If you have time, can we talk?" She was no longer shy and immediately agreed. "Okay." The next day, standing in front of Anran, he asked with concern, "Why did you suddenly move out? Was it uncomfortable living there?" She denied it with a melancholic expression. "Mr. Yun's house is very nice. I just don't want to bother you anymore." Nansheng didn't want to beat around the bush anymore and wanted an answer to his confession from the other day. Anran, about my previous confession, I'm still waiting for your answer. As he moved closer, an indescribable anxiety rose in her heart. But fortunately, a phone call came in, interrupting the awkward situation between them. Nansheng answered the phone, somewhat displeased. Hello? When he heard the notice from the other end, he immediately agreed. Okay, I'll be right there. Nansheng's expression turned gloomy and irritated because nothing was going his way. Anran, I have something urgent. We'll talk later. As soon as he finished speaking, he left in a hurry. Meanwhile, Anran's phone rang. It was a call from Blue Castle Kindergarten. The teacher quickly reported Xiao Jing's emergency. Are you Xiao Jing's parent? Xiao Jing had a conflict with a classmate, which triggered an asthma attack. She is now receiving emergency treatment in the infirmary at Blue Castle Kindergarten. As soon as Anran heard her daughter was having an asthma attack, she dropped everything and ran over. Jing, seeing her mother running towards her anxiously, Xiao Jing comforted her instead. Mom, don't worry. I'm fine. But as a mother, how could she not worry about her child? Jing, you have a weak constitution. Don't get agitated. If anything happens, tell me when you get home, and I'll stand up for you. Just as she finished speaking, a parent walked in and interrupted. Wow, such big talk. Seeing her walk into the room and speak loudly to her child made Anran very uncomfortable. She shielded Xiao Jing. Who are you? She pointed at the girl without hesitation and accused. Look what your daughter did to my son's face. If you don't kneel and admit your mistake today, don't even think about coming to school anymore. Just as her words fell, an authoritative voice rang out, asking, who gave you the authority to expel her? Nansheng was seen leading Jing Shi into the infirmary. It immediately frightened her. Mr. Yin, what are you doing here? He didn't want to waste words on her and directly scolded. If I didn't know better, I'd think you were the owner of this school. At this moment, Jing Shi also approached Xiao Jing with a worried look. The little girl comforted him like a grown-up. It's okay. See, I'm fine. Seeing the two children she had raised through hardships suffer such grievances, Anran was truly heartbroken. Jing Shi, what exactly happened? At this point, Nansheng stood up, glared at her, and reiterated, I heard your son called Jing Shi a wild child with no mother in front of everyone. Hearing this, she fearfully asked her son, yeah, did you really say that? The boy with the swollen cheek answered affirmatively, yes. Finally realizing her son was in the wrong first, she quickly changed her tune, pulling her son to kneel at Nansheng's feet to admit their mistake. Mr. Yin, children don't know any better. Please forgive us this time. But how could he let her off so easily? No need to be in a hurry to kneel. This matter isn't over. Meanwhile, Jing Shi walked forward and took Anran's hand, looking at her with a very pitiful gaze, which made her heart ache too. Jing Shi, Anran knelt down without hesitation to comfort the boy. Jing Shi, be good. You are not a child without a mother. Don't listen to their nonsense. She couldn't help but hug Jing Shi tightly. With unshakable determination, you've been wronged all these years, Jing Shi. When the time is right, I will definitely acknowledge you as my son. After everything was resolved, the four of them left together. Nansheng suggested, let's go together. I'll drive you and Xiao Jing home. But she immediately shook her head and refused. Thank you for your kindness, Mr. Yin, but someone is coming to pick us up. Realizing Anran's distance, he stepped forward to question her. Are you deliberately keeping your distance from me? Faced with this proximity, she hurriedly took a step back and reminded him, Mr. Yun, we are in public. Please be mindful of your image. Just then, a car pulled up, and Xiao Shi inside said cheerfully, I'm here to pick you up. Seeing Xiao Shi had arrived, Anran and Xiao Jing hurriedly said their goodbyes and got into the car. Mr. Yun, I'll be leaving first. Faced with her heartlessness, it truly broke his heart. Sheng Anran, is this your answer? That night, seeing the rift between the two, Xiao Jing immediately asked, Mom, did you and Uncle Yin have a fight? Why? Not wanting to sadden her daughter, her mother had to lie. We didn't fight. I know you like Uncle Yin a lot. The girl had always hoped Anran could be with Nansheng and praised him without hesitation. Uncle Yin is handsome and rich. If you were with him, you would be very happy. I want you to be happy. Seeing her daughter being so understanding, her heart broke. Mom's happiness doesn't need to depend on others. Just then, Anran reached out, stroked her daughter's head, and asked about the girl's choice. If one day Mom asked you to choose between Uncle Yun and me, who would you choose? Xiao Jing affirmed without hesitation, Don't worry, Mom. I will always be by your side. Anran couldn't help but press further. Jing, if Uncle Yun were your biological father, would you still choose Mom? The girl's eyes lit up, and she said affirmatively, of course. Confident that her daughter would be on her side, she felt more at ease. That's good. Suddenly, Xiao Jing had a question. But Mom, if Uncle Yun is my biological father, then why aren't you two together? Anran didn't know how to make Xiao Jing understand, so she held the girl tightly and instructed, when the time is right, I will tell you. But you can't tell anyone about what happened tonight, okay? Sleep well. We have to go to Grandpa's house tomorrow. The next day, Anran brought Xiao Jing back to the main residence. The nanny came out to greet them as soon as she saw her. Second miss is back. The master was just about to call and ask, but just as he said it, you arrived. Seeing the girl didn't know how to address her, Anran immediately taught her. Jing, call her great-grandma. The girl also greeted her sweetly. Hello, great-grandma. Hearing that his daughter had brought his granddaughter back, Qing Shan hurried downstairs to welcome them. Anran is back. Upon seeing her grandfather, she introduced him to Xiao Jing. Jing, this is Grandpa. Knowing it was her grandfather, the girl put on a cute face and greeted him. Hello, Grandpa. Seeing his granddaughter so well-behaved and sensible, Qing Shan's heart melted. So you're Jing. So cute, so good. He took Xiao Jing's hand without hesitation to show her around, but didn't forget to instruct, let's go, Jing. Grandpa will show you around and give you a tour. This is your home too. You must come often, understand? Seeing that scene, Anran couldn't help but recall many years ago, when I came to the Shang family, I was the exact same age as Jing. Back then, Dad doted on me just like this. At first, Dad and I were very close, but later, because of Sheng Anran and her mother, I no longer dared to show affection to Dad. When I was little, I thought that if I kept my distance, I could change how those two thought of me. But who knew I would fall into their trap and be called cold, difficult to raise, and heartless by others? Anran always remembered those sarcastic and malicious remarks aimed at a little girl back then. The second miss of a Shang family has arrived too. How come no one from a Shang family is with her? Who would bother to acknowledge her? Theirs is a family of 3. There's no place for her. When I was little, I thought that if I kept my distance, I could change how those two thought of me. But who knew I would fall into their trap and be called cold, difficult to raise, and heartless by others? Anran also followed them and asked, Dad, is it just us today? Qing Shan rubbed his forehead and admitted, yeah, Anyao and her mother went back to her mother's house. Seeing he was unwell, she ran over with concern. Are you not feeling well, Dad? But Qing Shan just brushed it off, saying he was fine. Don't worry about Dad. Dad heard you moved out of Yin Nansheng's house. Do you need Dad to arrange for someone to help you move back to the Jinshuan apartment? Anran had no ulterior motives for coming this time. Dad, I just came to bring Jing to see you today. I have no other intentions. Although he knew this, not being able to do something for her made him feel even more guilty. Dad was hoping you'd come back and ask Dad for a favor. All these years, Dad knows you've suffered a lot. Anran, on the other hand, felt those things couldn't be blamed on him. It's okay, Dad. I'm doing fine. Understanding his daughter was worried about him, he still knew she had also gone abroad 6 years ago because of him. Stop comforting Dad. You went abroad 6 years ago. Such a big event, and Dad knew nothing about it. This is a father's dereliction of duty. As the two were talking, Xiao Jing's childish voice echoed excitedly. Grandpa, this room is so beautiful. Hearing this, Qing Shan excitedly ran over, wanting to show her more. Grandpa has even cooler things to show you. Meanwhile, Anyao returned home and commanded loudly, where is everyone? It's so quiet in here. Hurry up and move everything from the car into the house. Auntie, the woman following behind, reminded her as she was being too loud, Anyao, be quiet. Your dad might be taking a nap. Don't wake him. But as soon as she entered and saw Anran there, she immediately said sarcastically, oh hey, what's this? Couldn't make it outside, so you came back to ask for money? Anran was no pushover either and retorted bluntly, don't make it sound so ugly. I just came to see my father. The more Anyao listened, the more uncomfortable she became. Mentioning Xiao Jing in a sarcastic tone, why didn't you bring that little bastard back for Dad to see too? Qing Shan heard all the harsh words from upstairs and spoke reproachfully. Anyao, Anran is your sister. She hasn't been back for many years, and as soon as she returns, you have this kind of attitude. Faced with such a reprimand, Anyao feigned disdain. I wouldn't dare to have such a shameless sister. You just don't know, Dad. She lied about studying abroad back then, but it turns out she went abroad to have a child out of wedlock, hiding it from the whole family. This woman also put on an innocent act, deliberately trying to slander Anran. Qing Shan, don't be too angry. I think Anran was just confused for a moment. She's still young. But before she could finish, Xiao Jing peeked out from behind Qing Shan. The girl asked her grandfather with an unhappy face, "Grandpa, what are they talking about? What a bastard. I don't understand any of it." As soon as she saw Xiao Jing, she wasn't happy at all, but rather uncomfortable. This little brat actually dared to bring the bastard home. Knowing his granddaughter had heard some harsh words, he immediately picked her up and asked to distract her. "What are you doing here, Jing? Are you having fun?" But the girl was not swayed and kept asking, "I heard someone say bastard." Just as she finished speaking, Xiao Jing glared at her, expressing her dislike. A friend at kindergarten also said Jing sure is a bastard. Jing hates that word. Seeing his granddaughter being so sensible, Qing Shan comforted her. "They're just speaking harshly. Let Grandpa teach them a lesson." As soon as he finished speaking, he looked directly at An Yao and reminded her in a low voice, "Sheng Anran, I'll let today's matter slide. But if there's a next time, don't blame me for being merciless." Faced with her father's warning, she only knew to obey fearfully. "Yes, there won't be a next time." After hearing those words, Qing Shan turned and left with Xiao Jing in his arms. "Let's go, Jing. Grandpa will take you to eat some cake, okay?" "Okay." Not understanding why Qing Shan had accepted Xiao Jing, she spoke reproachfully, "What trick did you use to make your dad accept your little bastard so easily?" Faced with such an accusation, Anran just calmly warned her to watch her words. "Shang Anyao, be careful what you say. You wouldn't want Dad to find out you're using my room to keep a boy toy, would you?" Hitting a sore spot, Anyao was speechless. She didn't want to get entangled with these two any longer. So she stood up, then walked closer to her and said in a low voice, "If you dare to insult me and my child again, then don't blame me for making you lose everything." That night, Qing Shan was in his study talking to a lawyer about transferring his assets. "Lawyer Wu, the share transfer needs to be public, but the property must be transferred to my granddaughter's name as soon as possible. Just consider it my compensation to Anran." She brought him a drink and overheard everything. She couldn't help but clench the drink in her hand resentfully. "Shang Qing Shan, my daughter and I have served you our whole lives. You are such an ungrateful person." She bit her lip, seemingly wanting to bring a disaster upon Qing Shan. "You forced me to do this." As soon as she finished speaking, she put something into the drink in her hand. The next day, at Shang Tang Group, Zhao Yang ran over to talk to Anran. "Director Shang, please wait. I'm Zhao Yang, a program producer from Guangxin Media. I'd like to talk to you about something." Having someone from another company suddenly approach her really confused her. Guangxin Media? The new company Chelsea just signed with? "What do you want to talk to me about?" Zhao Yang was a producer at Guangxin Media, so he made a collaboration offer. "Our previous travel show got a great response. Would you like to sign Jing on a long-term contract with us?" Anran refused immediately without hesitation. "I don't want to." This caught him off guard. She insisted on refusing, not wanting to cooperate with them for her daughter's sake. "No, thank you. I'm not comfortable leaving my daughter alone." But for some reason, Zhao Yang was persistently pestering her. "Miss Shang, the offer is really good. You can also come to my company to be your daughter's manager. The pay won't be lower than what you're getting now. You can reconsider." Seeing that scene, his expression in Nancheng's office was clearly gloomy. Nancheng couldn't concentrate, tapping his fingers on the desk. The secretary seemed to be reporting on this morning's events as per his instructions. The person who came to see Director Shang this morning was Zhao Yang, a producer from Guangxin Media. The reality show we collaborated on achieved great results. He came to the investment department to discuss the next steps for the show. Knowing the reason for Zhao Yang's visit, he couldn't understand. What does this have to do with Shang Anran? The secretary quickly explained the reason. They want to sign Xiao Jing, possibly to go the child star route, and invited Director Shang to be the creative director or at least a manager. Hearing this news, Nancheng felt very nervous, afraid that Anran would leave. Did she agree? He clenched his hands so tightly that even the pen in it trembled. The secretary wasn't very clear on Anran's situation either. "I'm not sure about that. But as of now, we haven't received a reply from Director Shang." There was nothing Nancheng could do at the moment but remain silent. Not wanting him to be further distracted by Anran's matter, the secretary reported, "COU, the meeting is about to start. The representatives from all the hotels have arrived, including Director Shang." Seeing that everyone was present, Nancheng stood up. "Let's go." In the meeting room, everyone was already seated. An employee stepped forward to present the company's upcoming plan. Sheng Tang Group specializes in high-end hotels and has never ventured into the low-cost product sector. Therefore, we want to develop a chain of youth hostels this time, which requires market research. I suggest we find a reliable consulting firm. Upon hearing this, Nanqing pointed out the project's blind spot. Information from consulting firms isn't reliable enough. It would be better to have representatives from each hotel conduct on-site inspections directly. Anran, while looking at the report, agreed with Nanqing's words. That's right. It's more reassuring to have our own people handle it. In the end, he assigned the task to Anran. Director Sheng has always been meticulous and thorough in her work. I'll leave this matter to you. Being suddenly assigned such a task put her in a difficult position. Me on-site inspections? Seeing Anran hesitate without responding, Nanqing asked in confusion, "Is there a problem, Director Sheng?" Sensing the feigned ignorance in his words, Anran was displeased, thinking to herself, he clearly knows I have to take care of Jingjing, yet he's pretending to ask if I have any difficulties. After waiting for a while without a reply, Nanqing called out again, "Director Sheng?" She no longer refused and accepted the job seriously. "I understand. I'll go." In reality, Nanqing did this, so Anran wouldn't have time to consider resigning. If she's busy, she probably won't have time to quit, right? That's right, the allowance for the field assignment must be increased too. Can't let that Zhao Yang outdo me. After work, Jingshi was brought to the company by the secretary. Seeing the boy here, Anran was very surprised. "Jingshi, what are you doing here?" The moment he saw her, Jingshi couldn't help but break into a radiant smile. He walked towards Anran, but the secretary following behind called out to him, "Young master." Seeing the boy rushing towards her like that, Anran was very worried. "What's wrong? Did someone bully you?" Jingshi looked up at her with teary eyes and then wrote on a piece of paper, "Dad won't let me come see you. I miss you so much." Her son's longing look broke Anran's heart. "Jingshi, Mommy misses you too. Mommy wants to be by your side too." Just as they were embracing, Nanqing appeared and called out, "Jingshi, come here." But the boy didn't listen and moved away from him. Seeing Jingshi like this, Anran also patiently soothed him. "Jingshi, go home with your dad for today, okay? Another day, and he will bring Jingjing to play with you." Even so, the boy held on tightly to Anran's skirt, refusing to let go. Nanqing couldn't bear it any longer and immediately ordered the secretary, "What are you standing there for? Take Jingshi back to the office." Upon receiving the order, the secretary picked up Jingshi and left. Yes. Not wanting to be separated from Anran, the boy cried out, "Mommy!" Tears couldn't help but stream down his cheeks. Witnessing this scene, Anran also felt a great heartache. "Jingshi, he can speak?" Seeing Jingshi like this, the secretary also hesitated. "Young master, this." Nanqing didn't say much, insisting that the secretary take the child away. "Take him back first." After seeing the secretary take Jingshi away, Nanqing grabbed Anran's hand. Pulling her aside, he said, "You, come with me." The two of them entered the second meeting room together. The curtains were then drawn. Anran thought Nanqing must have something important to discuss to have called her into a room alone. So she asked, "Xiaoyu, is something the matter?" He seemed to want to confront her directly. "Are you avoiding me?" Faced with this question, Anran still tried to evade it. "Xiaoyu, you're overthinking things." "I'm not." Nanqing stepped closer, still wanting to hear the answer to his confession. "Sheng Anran, what's your answer?" But she took a step back, avoiding the question. We're just in a superior-subordinate relationship." He found this statement utterly unacceptable. Superior-subordinate. Nanqing boldly pinned her against the table and questioned. "A man and a woman have already slept together, and it's still just a superior-subordinate relationship. Am I the only one who cares about that night? What about you?" Pushed into a corner, Anran could only say hurtful words. "If that night gave you the wrong impression, then I apologize. I have no feelings for Xiaoyu. It was just a matter of timing." Nanqing still refused to believe it. "Fine, a matter of timing, is it?" Then he shamelessly slid his hand to caress Anran's chest. This made her shyly stop him. "What are you doing? Let go of me." He was truly heartbroken by Anran, his heart about to explode. "This is the first time I've been so sincere, only to get she has no feelings for me in return. Sheng Anran, are you happy humiliating me like this?" Faced with that question, she did feel guilty, but she was cut off by Nanqing before she could speak. Unable to endure this coercion any longer, Anran raised her hand and cursed, "You bastard. Don't touch me." He took the slap himself, stunned. She didn't want to say anything more and left quickly. Nanqing could only stand there in pain, watching her retreating figure. In the room, Anran lay exhaustedly on the bed. The thought of Nanqing made her irritable. "That bastard, you Nanqing. That bastard who did that kind of thing 6 years ago is now acting all affectionate in front of me." Not wanting to think about Nanqing anymore, she quickly covered herself with the blanket. Seeing her neither eating nor drinking, just lying in her room, Shu Jing couldn't help but worry. "Listen, Anran, you've been lying here all afternoon. You skipped lunch, and now you're skipping dinner. Are you trying to become an immortal, or secretly dieting behind my back? Seeing that Shu Jing was back from work, Anran came to her senses. Shu Jing, you're off work. Shu Jing walked in and chided. What else? Look at the time. I've also picked up Jingjing, so don't worry. Seeing her best friend like this, she knew something unpleasant had happened. So Shu Jing turned on the light and asked with concern, what's wrong with you? It's rare to see you like this. Is it trouble at work or matters of the heart? Anran sat up and asked for help. Shu Jing, I have to go to the ancient town for a business trip for a few days. Can I trouble you to help me take care of Jingjing? A sudden business trip? Shu Jing immediately fired off a series of questions. A business trip to the ancient town? Who sent you? Yunansheng? What is he up to? Doesn't he know you have a child to take care of? Faced with Shu Jing's questions about the two of them, Anran quickly evaded. It was arranged by the company. Don't talk nonsense. There's nothing between me and Yunansheng. Jingjing seemed to have heard everything and ran in to ask her mother. What's wrong? Mommy, are you okay? Seeing her daughter so worried about her, Anran stroked the little girl's head to comfort her. It's nothing, just a word transfer. Jingjing, while Mommy is on her business trip, you have to listen to your godmother, okay? Of course, Jingjing would be obedient, but she also had something to ask. Don't worry, Mommy, I'll be good. But can I ask you something? Then, looking at the current situation between Anran and Nansheng, Jingjing asked directly, Mommy, did you and Uncle Yu really break up? Hearing her daughter define their relationship this way, Anran chided, break up? Mommy and he were never together in the first place. Faced with Anran's denial, Jingjing couldn't believe it. You live together, doesn't that count as dating? Seeing her daughter talking nonsense, Anran quickly covered her mouth and explained, what are you talking about? That was because of special circumstances. Then, not wanting her to talk about it anymore, she immediately urged, but Jingjing, it's time for bed, go back to your room. No buts. Mommy is talking about grown-up stuff with godmother. Little kids aren't allowed to listen. Being called a little kid and told not to listen to adult matters made Jingjing angry. Mommy is mean. You're hiding something from me. I'm mad at you now. Seeing Jingjing leave, Shu Jing tentatively began. When are you planning to tell her about Yunansheng? But this also made Anran dejected. I haven't figured it out yet. Shu Jing wanted to persuade her further, to make their relationship smoother. She likes him so much, and she doesn't even know Yunansheng is her biological father. If she found out, would she? Although she knew what Shu Jing was worried about, Anran was still very confident in her daughter. No, I know my daughter. Suddenly, Shu Jing came closer and said sarcastically, I say, Anran, is your head made of wood? Being told this, Anran was confused. What are you talking about? Shu Jing immediately analyzed it for her. He's a CEO. There's no reason for him to be so attentive to you and Jingjing. It's obvious he's interested in you. He even called off his engagement for you, right? Faced with those facts, Anran remained unshaken. I can't afford his feelings. But Shu Jing was certain she would fall into the trap sooner or later. Regardless, he's the CEO. If it were me, I'd have plenty of strength and tricks to make sure you couldn't escape. Her friend's sudden change of sides made Anran unable to adapt, and she felt sad. Shu Jing, whose side are you on? Shu Jing seemed to know her better than she knew herself, teasing, can't you see you're just pretending to be angry right now? If you really didn't want to have anything to do with Yunansheng, wouldn't resigning solve everything? Anran still tried to find a reason. I'm doing it for Jingshi, that's why. But then she suddenly fell silent. Shu Jing didn't want to delve deeper into her relationship issues either, so she stood up to leave. I can't say much about your relationship problems. What's important is that you know in your own heart what you're thinking. Before sleeping, she didn't forget to say good night to Anran. Sleep well, good night. Shu Jing's words really made her seriously rethink things. Outside, it was already light. Anran kept thinking about her relationship with Nansheng. Me and Yunansheng. Meanwhile, Yunansheng was called back to the old family home without being told why. He was puzzled. Grandpa, is there something you wanted to see me about by asking me back for a meal? As soon as he got there, Jingshi clung tightly to old Master Yu's clothes, which made old Master Yu understand. I see. Then, old Master Yu questioned Nansheng with a serious expression. I heard you sent Anran on a business trip? Upon hearing this, he didn't know how to explain, so he sat down to listen to old Master Yu. Old Master Yu looked at him and questioned, "Isn't Anran's hotel doing just fine? Why did you suddenly arrange such a long business trip for her? Who will take care of her child? You're a father yourself. How can you not understand this?" Suddenly being scolded like this, Nansheng quickly denied it. Sending Sheng Anran on a business trip was a company decision. "Grandpa, since when did you become so close to her?" "Old Master, you didn't think there was anything wrong with getting to know her. Anran is a good girl, and Jingshi likes her too. That being the case, what's wrong with me getting to know my future granddaughter-in-law a little better?" Faced with Old Master Yu's certainty, Nansheng felt distressed. "Grandpa, we haven't reached that stage yet. Please don't make decisions on your own." Old Master Yu wanted Nansheng to try a little harder to give Jingshi a complete family. Jingshi is already so big. Have you ever heard him speak? But he calls her mommy. A child's heart is the purest. "I think Anran is great, and you're not young anymore. I say let's settle this." You arrange the engagement. Unable to listen any longer, Nansheng couldn't help but put down his half-eaten chopsticks, then stood up to escape. "Grandpa, I'll leave Jingshi here to keep you company today. We can talk about other things later." Seeing his grandson acting like a block of wood, Old Master Yu was furious. It was useless to persuade him until his mouth was dry. Old Master Yu was helpless. "Oh, Jingshi, it's not that I won't help you. It's that your father is too stubborn. He has his own ideas, and I can't change him." Seeing that even Old Master Yu was helpless, Jingshi shed sad tears. Faced with the child's tears, Old Master Yu's heart truly ached. "Don't cry. Great-grandpa is still thinking of a way." Suddenly, Old Master Yu remembered something and called for the butler. "That's right, Old Sue, Old Sue." Hearing the call, the butler hurried over. "I'm here." Old Master Yu then asked about the investigation he had assigned. "The matter I asked you to look into, have you found out everything?" The butler replied affirmatively. "I have. Miss Shang is on a business trip in a place called Langshire Ancient Town, staying at the Fengtang Inn." Hearing the name of the place, Old Master Yu found it very familiar. Langshire Ancient Town? Why does that sound so familiar? The butler wanted to explain that the place was, but didn't say it out loud. It couldn't be such a coincidence that they'd meet, right? That town is very large, and she likes to live in seclusion. Old Master Yu asked doubtfully, "Does Nansheng know about that place?" The butler inferred from the situation. Judging by the current situation, the young master probably doesn't know. Hearing this, Old Master Yu ordered sternly, "I understand. Help me keep a close eye on this matter. Report to me immediately if there's any development." At the Fengtang Inn in Langshire Ancient Town, a woman sat behind a curtain, brewing tea with elegant movements. As soon as Anran arrived, she smelled a delicate fragrance. What a lovely scent. "Is it white tea?" The woman set down the brewed cup of tea and invited her. "Yes, please have some." Being treated so graciously, Anran accepted with pleasure. Then it would be rude not to. The woman was very polite to Anran and introduced herself. "No need to be so formal. I'm the owner of this inn. It's my duty to host guests. Are you finding your stay here comfortable?" Being cared for in this way made Anran very happy. "It's wonderful. The second floor has a panoramic view of the ancient town. It's very beautiful." She picked up the teacup and took a sip. Then her eyes immediately lit up with praise. "It's truly fragrant." The woman looked at her and asked directly, "Miss, you're not here for sightseeing, are you?" Being seen through so easily put Anran on guard. "How did you know, madam?" The owner poured another cup of tea and analyzed. "People who come for sightseeing don't stay in all the time like you do." In the face of the owner's keen observation, Anran couldn't help but admire her. "You really understand your guests, madam. You're very perceptive." Receiving the compliment, the owner just took a light sip of her tea. Seeing that she didn't press further, Anran grew more curious. "Aren't you curious about what I'm here for?" The owner replied very calmly, "I'm not curious. There are too many things in this world to be curious about. However, if you wish to tell me, I'm willing to listen." Faced with the owner's transcendent demeanor, Anran truly saw her in a new light. This woman was like a bright moon in the sky, untouched by the mortal world. Anran no longer concealed her purpose and introduced herself. "My name is Sheng Anran. I'm a branch manager for the Shengtang Hotel under the Shengtang Group." Upon hearing Shengtang Group, the owner became curious. Seeing the owner pause here, she also said happily, "That's right, Shengtang Group. It's great that you've heard of it." After speaking, Anran extended an invitation to the owner. "I heard from the front desk that you personally designed, decorated, and managed this inn and brought it to a top-tier position. The Shengtang Group greatly admires your talent and would like to invite you to come back." She took the invitation and immediately asked directly, "Whose idea Was it to have you come find me to work for your group? Anran quickly explained. It was a proposal from the group's planning department, personally signed and confirmed by our CEO. The owner was taken aback and asked, "Is it you, Nansheng?" Seeing that the owner knew Nansheng, she was surprised. "You know CEO you?" Seeing the owner remain silent, Anran grew more curious. This owner, why does she seem a bit strange? The owner suddenly showed an unusual concern for Nansheng. "I've heard of him. Do you know CEO you? How's his health? I heard he has a child. Is he married?" Anran didn't hide anything and replied, "His health is very good. He does have a child, but he's not married, though he might be soon." Hearing that Nansheng seemed to be doing well, the owner asked about Old Master Yu. "Then how's the Old Master of the Yu family? Have you met him?" Seeing that the owner also knew Old Master Yu, Anran became suspicious. "Madam, you seem to be very concerned about CEO Yu's family affairs." The owner gave an explanation to cover up the real reason. "There are many rumors about the Yu family. I may be old, but I'm still quite gossipy." Hearing this, Anran immediately retorted, "But you said curiosity can be a dangerous thing." At these words, the owner's hand suddenly paused. Anran seemed very sharp and wanted to press about the owner's relationship with the Yu family. "Madam and the Yu family." Suddenly, the phone rang at the perfect moment. She immediately picked up the phone. "Excuse me, I need to reply to a message." Nansheng had sent a message asking, "How is the inspection of the ancient towns inns going?" Anran also replied dutifully and seriously, "There are quite a few inns in the ancient town, so the investigation will take some effort. I will send a report over tonight." Finally, the sun gradually set. In the inn room, Anran let out a sigh of relief after writing the report for a while. "Phew," finally sent the report. "This Nansheng, really, I've never seen him so clingy." Just as she closed her laptop, ready to call it a day, there was a soft knock on the door. The owner came to visit Anran with a gift. "I saw that you've checked out. Are you planning to leave?" She didn't stand on ceremony and accepted it. "Yes, I'm heading to the next spot tonight to try and start work early tomorrow morning." Seeing her working so hard, the owner's heart ached for her. That must be tough. But she just said it's not tough. It's just work. Before Anran left, the owner said her farewell. "I look forward to your next visit." Anran then drove away from the place. Suddenly, a dark figure appeared in front of the car, startling her into stopping. She then hurried out and saw a young boy had fainted. Extremely worried, Anran quickly called for an ambulance. "Hello, ambulance? I've had an accident on the highway 3 kilometers from Langshire Ancient Town." Then she stood there waiting for the ambulance to arrive. The next day, Nansheng was looking at a report and asked about Anran's situation. "How is Sheng Anran?" The front desk immediately reported her situation. Director Sheng was in a car accident. The news was like a bolt from the blue. "What? An accident? How is she?" The front desk quickly explained more clearly. "Director Sheng is fine. It was she who hit someone. That person is still in the hospital being rescued." Nansheng suddenly stood up and demanded, "Send me the location." The receptionist standing before him answered, somewhat frightened, "Yes, yes." Nansheng immediately called his secretary and delegated everything. "Zhao Feng, I have an urgent matter. I'll be back at the company the day after tomorrow. In the meantime, you arrange the relevant meetings as you see fit." After arranging everything, he drove off, not forgetting to call Anran, but her phone was off. This made Nansheng even more worried about her. "Sheng Anran, why aren't you picking up your phone?" He couldn't wait any longer and stepped on the gas. Speeding down the highway, he finally arrived at the hospital. Upon arriving at the hospital, Nansheng parked his car haphazardly and was reminded by a security guard, "Hey, you can't park here." But he didn't care at all, tossing the keys to the guard and pleading, "Help me park the car." The guard was confused by the situation. Yes. Nansheng rushed into the hospital. Just as he stepped out of the elevator, he heard a scream from one of the rooms. "What are you doing? Let go of me." Without hesitation, Nansheng pushed open the door of the hospital room and shouted, "Sheng Anran." As he opened the door, he was stunned to see Anran being held tightly by a man, while she struggled constantly to break free. "Let go of me." Nansheng couldn't bear it any longer and rushed over. He grabbed the young man directly, pulled him away, and reminded him with a grim face, "Didn't you hear her say let go?"